All right. Good evening, baseball fans. Just came from Dwayne Mart's YouTube network. Just did a really good Yankees Blue Jays game using the master version of APBA, Cards and Dice, and using Digital Diamond Baseball as a companion. Once again, doing Yankees and Braves throughout the season. This time, 1978, and we're going to be having Dwayne on Bernie and I in our Diamonds and Dice podcast or broadcast, I guess I'll call it, on Sunday night around 10:30. We'll be talking to Dwayne Martz about his projects, things that he does, as well as Steve Tate. So we're going to have a couple stellar guests on that night. And Legends was in there, so we do have to mention Legends Sports Universe. This was opening day, opening night, what have you, for season 3 of the Franchise Stars Baseball League. So check that out. That's done on MLB The Show 22. And what makes that so amazing is the Herculean effort that Legends has put into it to really make MLB The Show do some things it wasn't designed to do. He could have taken the easy way out and done it in a program like Out of the Park 25, which can essentially do what he does, but he's taken it to another level. So the first 2 seasons have been absolutely electrifying, amazing. And I know with all confidence season 3 is going to blow them both away, and that's saying a lot. All right. Also, just quickly, the Fields Dreams Leagues continues. So I know there were some games today, and we'll be continuing that through the weekend. Lots of baseball, as Legend said. Also, Clee Baseball Fan 879 uploading Game 1 of his 2007 World Series in Stratomatic Cards and Dice. He'll be premiering that tomorrow. I believe he said at 1 p.m. So who do we have in the park? Just a couple people right now here that are at least in the chat. I see that we have 8 viewing already. Light Years from Home, one of my dearest friends. The fellow Bucko fan. It is awesome. Dwayne Martz is in here and Bernie Strom. So I'll be putting a link in here in a little bit, perhaps. There's Aaron Reed. This is going to be a quicker broadcast tonight than usual because early work tomorrow, but then a 3-day weekend and hopefully staving off any Black Death. So let's get to the big thing in the room. What to paraphrase or to quote the Grateful Dead, what a long, strange trip it's been. Out of the Park Baseball debuted in 1999. It might not have been the prettiest game back then, but already it gave you incredible freedom. Well, Out of the Park 25 is here. This is not the 25th version of the game. There's actually been more versions of the game than 25. There's been a couple on CD and stuff like that. One year it was called Season Ticket Baseball, no relation to the Clay Dressloff game. This is the earliest that I can remember that this game has ever released. And for those of you who wait all the time, Mike Silva's stuff, and I'm playing a full version. So I was one of the beta testers, but I promise you I am not allowing that to influence my review. Or I should say first impressions of the game. Workshop Central is already active in this. There are a couple modes that aren't available yet. So this year, the price of the game does go up. So if you're going to pick it up, get it for this big discount right now on Steam, or also you can get it on the Out of the Park web store. My advice, while Steam does take its cut, I prefer now to buy the game on Steam. I used to buy it on both platforms, but I found I was just buying the one from the developers and not really using it because Steam keeps everything updated and you've got this great Steam Workshop feature. So the first thing you're going to notice about the interface here is it's a little bit cleaner. So if you're watching this and you fire up, you want to follow along, one of the easiest ways to see changes is to maybe have a look around Out of the Park 24 or 23 or whatever that you have. And I'll be getting the comments in the chat as we move along. Nathaniel Lentz joining us here and Buckshot. He says he got his wrench. He's somebody now. I did it the other night. I was reminded by David Lando. Well, I have a cat here thinking that my headphones are a toy. Darcy, they're going to have you for dinner. All right. So one of the things that you'll notice here is a little cleaner. And so you have continue game, load game, new game, import 20 out of park 24 game, Hall of Fame showcase, and settings. I like that the settings are up here now. We'll talk about that in a minute. So it seems a little bit more Spartan. It's like, are we getting less? Well, actually, no. At first glance, you're going to think that this is kind of an incremental improvement on Out of the Park 24, and I thought that as well. But the more I've messed with it, the more I would say this is a really, really nice upgrade, especially for people that that want to do season replays, strict season replays, and other things, and we'll get into that. All right. So let's just go to new game first and show you the modes. So here they are. So the new standard game is going to be what you've known and loved with Out of the Park Baseball, and that you'll be able to play along with the real 2024 rosters, everything like that. Either Major League Baseball, also the Korean Baseball Organization. Okay. New historical game, again, the same thing, but there are changes even in that we'll get to. So this is allow you to, again, to play any historical season from 1871 to 2023. This also includes minor league baseball, Negro League baseball, Dutch professional baseball called, and you're going to very rarely hear me speak Dutch here, but I will, Honkbal Hoofdklasse, which is basically Major League Baseball in Dutch. Also the British Baseball Federation. A few others. There's some missing. The Nippon Baseball League probably won't see. And my understanding is that Konami kind of owns the gaming rights to that. The new custom game. This is the big sandbox mode, which deserves a video on its own. And I think for new people coming into Out of the Park Baseball, this franchise, also for maybe longtime players that have never attempted this, this is where you can create amazing, amazing things. And in fact, our upcoming Ned McGreevy League, the newest version, will be version 3. This year, we're doing it in Out of the Park Baseball. In past years, we've done, or past seasons, were done in Action PC Baseball. Another great baseball game you should pick up. Drive for the Pennant, I can't show you, but we're going to talk about some of the patch notes in this, what you'll be able to do in Drive for the Pennant. It's another way to play the upcoming season that's a lot more dynamic. Tutorial game, just what it says in the tin. Quick start game, and I'm going to be talking about a quick start that you should definitely download. You will need Out of the Park 24, I'm pretty sure, for this one, and then move it into Out of the Park 25. It's an all-time greats league. So one negative is that the all-time greats league that comes with Out of the Park Baseball, don't bother with it. Just don't bother with it. I've mentioned that before. Ernie Banks is not on the Cubs. He's not anywhere in there. But this quick start that I've been playing now through Out of the Park 24, now moved over into Out of the Park 25, is brilliant. It's essentially being able to play with baseball reference and the whole thing. It's a lot of fun. Historical exhibition. This is everything from World Series all the way up to 70-team tournaments, anything in between. All right. So let's talk about some of the changes, but we're going to back to the main menu, and the sharp-eyed among you will notice this cool thing. So in addition to having the official Major League Baseball license and the official Major League Baseball players license and the minor league license, there is now a partnership with the National Baseball Hall of Fame. There's nothing to show here yet, but coming down the line, they're promising some really, really awesome things. So it'll be a kind of nice little walk through Cooperstown in a way, not a virtual, but you're going to be able to see the actual plaques for everybody that's in the Hall of Fame. They're going to be including, images and things like that of artifacts that are in the Baseball Hall of Fame. So we'll no doubt see Honus Wagner, Babe Ruth's bats, jerseys, whatever. And I don't know, they're being kind of really hush-hush about what's going to be in this. So I'm pretty excited about it being a baseball history geek to see where this Hall of Fame showcase will go in the coming years. I mentioned before that I like settings right here. So let's talk about that, and then we'll get into the meatier stuff. So from here, when we start on the left-hand side, interface, so you can choose what skin you want right now. Classic, dark, and light are available. display mode, window size maximized. This is good if you're a content creator. You want to be windowed, okay? And then this is, of course, the font. These are all font sizes, things like that, okay? We go on to miscellaneous, right? This is, let's say you're playing in you're a European person or somebody not on the imperial system, and you would rather have things, metric. You can do it that way. Really, really nice. So not much to describe there. 3D. You can choose how you want to do 3D, in game. So again, you can choose filtering. And right now I just put everything at medium quality and low. I've got a fast PC, but it's not really that important to me to have, a really like crazy detailed audience. It's never going to be as detailed in MLB The Show anyhow. So set these to where you want. One thing I would recommend here, and again, you have all kinds of choices, is you should set your ball size to normal, player model scale to 100. Set your 3D animation speed to slightly slow. This was a recommendation that Chris Slovic gave us sometime last year. And it really gives a better sense of not only the scale of the ballpark, but the ball flight looks a little bit more realistic. Face Gen. From here, at the very beginning, you can just disable Face Gen. I don't like Face Gen. I disable it. I like to use real player photos. When real player photos aren't available, it can be there, or it will use a team logo. Okay. All the other stuff here, if you want Face Gen angles and stuff, if you use it, you can do it from the left, right, straight, whatever. Again, all self-explanatory. Expert in troubleshooting, we'll just leave alone. Okay. So I really, really do like that this is up here now, right there. Okay. So what are some of the changes? Well, some of them are, and when you create a new game, and this is, I think, really, really huge. So let's go to an historical game. We're going to create a new historical game. Challenge mode is still here. We're not going to use it for this. All right. The first thing you're going to notice is an addition of a really cool mode, right? So, of course, we have the default mode, and we'll just read it to you here. Because I know we have a couple people here that, may be a bit sight challenged. So a default mode is meant for players who want historical accuracy with some flexibility. So keep that in mind as we move along. Players will be rated entirely based on their actual performance, but are not necessarily fixed to their historical teams. Okay. Replay mode. So this is meant for players who want historical accuracy. Players will be rated entirely based on their actual performance and will follow trends related to their career progression. Players will be assigned to their teams, and actual lineups and transactions will be used. So I think what's important about this is as soon as you click this, right, setting up an historical league has been really streamlined this year. You can go into advanced mode, get really, really deep into it if you want with customized managers, things like that. But this is a quick way to do this. But seasoned replayers have been clamoring for something a lot more accurate. Early things that I've read, Mike Silva had sent one in our Discord that people are reporting that numbers for people like Walter Johnson and Christy Matthews now are far better than they have been in previous editions. And I think that's going to be good news no matter what era of baseball you play. So replay mode is here now. Because a lot of knocks have been this game has been better. People felt that this was better in career mode. So they've really put a lot of work in this. They have shaken up the historical database, done a few exhibition games, and I'm liking what I'm seeing thus far. All right, career mode aims to play through history from the starting year while letting things play out differently than they did in real life. Players will develop differently than they did in real life, will get hurt, will sign with different teams. So this is sort of, again, flirting with a kind of sort of alternate reality mode that you find in action PC baseball, but this is done in a career. So if you're a little bit more adventurous, career mode is your baby. Lastly is the random debut mode, which I think is popular with a lot of people, and I do want to do a league with this someday with the community. Essentially, it's the ultimate fantasy mode, unless, of course, you have Kate Beckinsale. Doesn't say that in here, but it would be true. The rosters and players in the game will pull from history. Some players may only debut later in their careers. So that's a lot of fun. So we'll go to replay mode. All right. And so we're going to select a season again. Let's I don't know what's a fun season for everybody, since the community tends to like newer baseball. That's what we'll do. All right. So let's do we don't want to do the usual suspect. Let's do 1967. There's been a lot of love for 67. We're going to import the complete history. Let's go to next step. All right. So we're going to just let everything up here. Okay. And we're going to import our real minor leagues. All right. I'm not going to do financials. All right. They've changed ratings. We'll talk about ratings in a little bit, but we're just going to leave this at 1 year ratings for right now. Okay. And then it's automatically going to do everything that we have to do here. All right. Let's go here. 20 to 80, changing it to 1 to 100. 20 to 80 is what's used in Major League Baseball. Doesn't make sense to me. So player pictures, all players. I want no fictional pictures and no fictional pictures. Next step. And it's a little zippier. All right, Robert, welcome in. Welcome in, bud. And Mike, Sports Time Machine here. So Mike doing a super teams league, a great teams league using Stratomatic Baseball. All right, so let's call this, I'm going to call this 1967 experiment, for lack of a better term. All right, and I'm going to play as manager, and I'm going to play in commissioner mode, and you cannot be fired for terms of this. I'm not going to use trading hard mode, change it to my real name. So there we are. Why not? I don't want to be a Smith. No, I don't. I don't know what year it's going to have me born here. 1937. Wow. Now let's make this, come on. No, that's better. And yeah, no. There we are. I mean, all things considered. There we are. Okay, next step. So all this will look familiar to everybody, but it's when we get into it that you're going to see some really, really cool stuff. One of the new features this year is player development. But player development with a nice little, maybe a nod to MLB The Show. And you'll see this works with past seasons, what have you. So if you're moving from season to season, in the off season, you can have certain players try to improve. So if you're working with your minor leaguers, or maybe, again, you're in a thing, especially in career mode, where you want a different narrative in baseball. So maybe, you're feeling, well, I'd like Maury Wills to work a little bit more on his power. You can have him do that, and it's done by a slider system. And you can't make the super ball player. It's impossible, and I'll show you why. Okay. So, of course, we will, in honor of Bernie Strom, we'll select the Boston Red Sox, though, because we're in commissioner mode, we can kind of choose anybody. I, remind you again, is with past editions of Out of the Park Baseball, if I wanted to play the AA Eastern League in 1967, I can do that from right here. So really, really nice, all the way down to, short season A, instructional league, all that kind of stuff. So, but we're going to stick with Major League Baseball. All right. And we're going to start the game. So I could put the link if anybody wants to come on and talk. I don't see that Mike Silva's in here. It'd be nice to have Mike in here, as he was also one of the beta testers. So here we are. All right. Again, everything looking familiar here, but it's more of the stuff that's under the hood. So let's go to our team home screen. All right. And we can do it. Look at our lineups, and lineups are always, pretty much nicely set. There we are. Player photos are already in. So let's look about here. Let's muck about. Strategy. So this is, again, really, really nice because you can set different strategies. So Action PC gets granular. This gets even more granular at the player level, as we'll see. Okay. You can also pick strategy presets. Again, this has been something that's been around with out of the park baseball for a little while. All right. But let's look at lineups, and let's just pick Carl Yastrzemski. All right. Now, we have Yastrzemski. We have a summary of Yaz, of course, his contract, if you care about that, which I don't. Strategy with Yastrzemski, right? So this is one of the things where you can change sliders at the player level that's a little bit deeper than Action PC baseball. So you can't set individual players stealing bases, base running, hit and run, sacrifice, things like that. So this is one thing I really like about this. But this is the development model I was talking about. This is new to Out of the Park 25. So let's say that we were doing a career mode thing, all right? Or we're in the off season even now. There's not a lot that we want to improve normally, let's say, with Carl Yastrzemski, but nobody's perfect. But what if I wanted to, let's say, get Yastrzemski's running a little bit better? I want him to concentrate a little bit more on running. Well, you notice I can't move this slider. So anybody that plays RPGs, and you know when you're assigning points, you're given so many points to assign. But to do that, you have to sacrifice other things. So while you're not going to be, let's say, asking Yastrzemski to kind of sacrifice anything, instead, what you're doing is you're saying, okay, let's say we know he has pretty good power, so we're going to kind of knock this down, and you'll see this red line start to come up here. This gives us more to play with, right? So he's not going to work on his power as much, maybe, but maybe what we want to do is increase Yaz's running a little bit. So we can go up here, and now he's going to spend more time in the off season in spring training with coaches working on running. Or maybe you want to improve his defense. You can work with these sliders, but it's all a game of give and take. I think this is really fun. I think for people that like to play in entirely fictional leagues with fictional players, this really, really opens up a big universe for you right here. But I think it would be fun to think outside the box and say, well, what if the Yankees would have decided to let Babe Ruth continue to pitch every once in a while? Maybe we still want him to work on his pitching, or maybe we want Babe Ruth to be a little bit better judicious in his base running, as we know about the 1926 story. This is something that I don't know that a lot of people will play with, but I think if you do, I think you'll find a lot of fun with it. So you can, of course, use his potential as a guide. So see, his running speed right now is at 45. So maybe I want him to be a little faster. So I'm going to kick this up. All right. Scouting is, of course, here's no surprise here. All right. You're going to get an injury history. Of course, this tracks all the way through. He has his own BNN page, and this is a wealth of information about a player. So, we can look at, just here. And just see all of the things that like in 1962 he ranked third in the American League in at-bats, for instance. So he ranked third in triples in 1964 with ninth. So this is kind of a nice encapsulation of any player's career. Pretty nice. And then of course you get his real stats up here. His game log in the last 10 games. So it's going to keep all of this going on. This potential will move back, or the overall and potentials. These are a sliding scale. Really nice. Baseball cards you guys already know about. But what I want to talk about as well are some of these changes that are new to Out of the Park 25 besides what I've shown you. We haven't even gotten into a game yet. Because there's some fun things to show there. And to put you all at rest right now, this game runs even more smoothly than last year. And in my opinion, at least, Out of the Park 24 was very smooth. I've seen new animations this year that you may see. We'll do part of the game at least. The dynamic camera seems to work better this year. And again, they've done a lot of overhauls in the database. So there's a lot more accuracy going on there. So I think the there's a lot going on here. Certainly, if you want to just play along with the 2024 season, you've got two amazing options to do it now in the game. And I think that's really, really something. All right. Now, I'm just going to bring up another screen here and tell you about some of these new base things. So now, for general player development, you can manage the time and effort each player spends with coaches on improving different aspects of the game. And again, this works in any season that you play, either that comes with the game, anything that you create. So if you create a team of, or let's say a league of great teams, or a league of, you've done a text import of players, and I'm thinking of like the Appa-Bats League. This is something to play around with. Okay. This gives you more influence on player development and maintenance by allocating time between various points of training. Have a player focus less on their contact and devote that time to increasing power, or perhaps have a pitcher sacrifice their pitch development to work more on control in their bullpen sessions. Spending more time on one part of the game will increase the coaching influence on it, and neglecting it will reduce the coaching influence. And then, of course, we've shown you the player development lab. All right. So the two are very, very closely related. And it talks about a couple things here. So programs vary in difficulty and range of outcomes, and success is influenced by many general factors such as age, coaches, personality, and more, as well as program-dependent factors. For example, it's much easier for a shortstop to slide over to second base, and we know that, than it is for a first baseman, or a good contact hitter is much more likely to improve their bunting ability. Did you draft a starter with a weak third pitch? Send him to the lab to improve it. Have a speedy player that can protect as well as a leadoff hitter. Send them to work on their bat-to-ball skill. Drive for the pennant mode. So this is the thing that I can't show you, so I'll just read you their patch notes on it. Introducing an all-new game mode, giving you a new way to dive in and play the 2024 season in a new and exciting way. Take charge of a team and focus on the key points as you play through a season. Streamlined roster decisions give key decisions making. Jump right to the action while simming if your team needs your input. In game, go directly to the action to make decisions. So, for instance, you could catch the last inning of a potential no-hitter. Make the key decision on bringing in your closer. So take a call on whether to stretch your starter out to finish the inning or bring the pen in, many more. So this one's a little bit more dynamic, jumping in only when you need to, as opposed to playing the standard game, playing the 2024 season. Streamlined historical wizard. You guys have already seen how streamlined this is. So quick and easy way. Historical names by games come by default with the number small. Preset options to more easily choose what sort of historical game you want to play. A lot of people get really freaked out because this game is extremely deep. And if I would start over and go into advanced mode, usually that's what scares a lot of people off from out of the park baseball. It has incredible depth. And as Steve Tate said about Action PC, it applies here as well, right? The more complex, the more moving parts you have. So this gives people, I think, a nice sort of threshold of entry into a very, very complex baseball simulation. All right. So there's many updates to historical ratings and balance to achieve the most realistic historical modes, and people reporting that already, which is nice. Now they've added some new ratings and split some other ratings, which is kind of cool. So we have one called Stealing Aggressiveness now. So the old speed ratings have been split up into a quote-unquote speed rating controlling rate of infield hits, triples, avoiding double plays, etc., and a rate that controls the runner's aggressiveness at stealing bases. I love this idea, especially as a person who likes the speed game in baseball and who loves dead ball baseball. But let's look in the 1970s, right? We had crazy speed players in the 70s and going into the 80s. Right. So speed isn't just about the stolen base anymore. Right. But how fast this person can avoid the double play, infield hits, things like that. Catcher framing is a new thing. Catchers are doing it all the time now. Right. So this old catcher ability has been split, with framing getting its own rating and the old catcher ability rating returning to be more about wild pitches and pass balls as a catcher blocking rating. Contact rating, I think this is cool too. Power has now been removed from the calculation for contact. The updated contact rating is now a mix of the batter's BABIP rating along with their avoid K rating only. The calculation has been updated. For that has been updated. Players who relied heavily on home runs may have very small contact ratings in the new model. Conversely, players who hit few home runs would be expected to have much larger values than they used to. Again, something that kind of makes sense, a lot more realistic. Movement rating, the balance between BABIP and raw movement, home run avoidance has been updated. Stuff rating, balance for how pitches convert to stuff, has been updated. Internal ratings, so this is more geek stuff. I think you'll like it. Internally, all batting and pitching ratings are now on a 1 to 550 scale instead of the old 1 to 250. So the new Major League default rating is now set at roughly 400, with 500 being an elite rating and 550 being the maximum rating reserved for truly elite players. So Babe Ruth, comes to mind, Willie Mays. Below that mark, the values roughly should come out to 500 being an average. For AAA, 250 should be around average for AA, and so on, although those ranges will vary. Player editors now changed around. We're not going to worry about the player editor too much because not a lot of people use it. The default view for batters and pitchers will now include their BABIP ratings in all game modes. Added new league modifier strategy settings. So you have a pop-up modifier, split batter, pitcher, sack bunt, added sack bunt success rate. Something that is completely new this year, sack bunt success rate. So one of the strengths of Action PC 2023 is a batter pitcher analysis tool. This isn't quite that, but you're getting a better sense of how well a batter is going to do in a situation where you want to sack bunt. So I really, really like that. A great addition to the game. For various game setups, when the control totals option is selection, as well as tournaments, minor leagues, feeder leagues, and some other situations, how the game will standardize player ratings internally has significantly changed. This should provide better accuracy in results. Otherwise, how the league totals and modifiers used has changed in all game modes. The league totals will now provide much more of a true target for the game engine, meaning that going forward, changes such as increasing the league totals for home runs will cause the home runs around the league to increase, rather than counterintuitively causing a decrease as the game would suddenly see more players with below average power. There's so much more. Player creation and development completely updated here. Better statistical output now for league development. Partnership with National Baseball Hall of Fame. We already talked about that. In-game screen filters, hopefully you'll see in a few minutes. And then there's a bunch of bug fixes, stuff like that. Hopefully Mike Silva will come on or do his own stream and talk about Perfect Team, as I don't play with Perfect Team. All right, so I'm really hitting a lot of stuff here. Random Human, it's been a while. So, nice. And Steve Tate is in here. This is Nose Play. If I remember when I tested 1975 replay. So, we'll get to, because I'm forgetting what does not apply. So I might get Steve to re-ask his question. One of the questions I've asked is if you're playing replay mode, does the development apply stuff or not? Because I think it would not apply. No, you would. I'm just showing that, but it's as it even says, career mode is more as your, and I think that's what Steve is answering. That's if you're playing in a career mode. So in the off season, you might want to work on Yaz's whatever. So in this case, we talked about his run rating. So to answer that question. So yeah, we'll put RJL. That's going to be a shorter broadcast tonight, guys. But yeah, anybody who wants to come on, I will be glad to bring you on and we'll talk a little bit and we'll get into a little game here. What I like this year is before, it seems that there was sort of like, yeah, we've kind of worked on this and we've improved, some things in the database, but they've gotten more specific this year. And again, very early days, the game just came out, there's still going to be patches and stuff like that, but they're already just the reviews up on Steam seem to be very, very positive. And I say pick it up. It's going to be worth full price. And this year the game does go up. It's going to go up to $49.99, I believe. And I see Robert's in here in the green room. We'll get him on in a second. Right now it's at a pretty hefty discount. Pick it up. If you're still not sure, you could wait through the season. And, it does go on sale a few times around the All-Star break. It will go on sale. I don't know if they're going to do anything for opening day with this early release, but let's get Robert on. How does it import player photos from Out of the Park 24? Great question, and I'll tell you that in a second, Dwayne. But let's welcome on RGL. Hey, Robert.
Hey there, guys. What's going on? Happy Friday to all of you out there.
Happy Holy Baseball Friday, man. Baseball all over the place on YouTube. I had to work.
I know that. You're going to have to watch the wild card game I just did between the Orioles and the Yankees for start the 72 postseason. It was a wild one.
Well, I'm rooting for the O's. No spoilers, though, please.
No spoilers. You're going to have to catch it. But I guess we don't need it. But I guess for today we're talking about Out of the Park. Mm-hmm. As you're doing your Out of the Park, I'm already loaded on mine here. I'm already going through it already.
So you picked it up. You picked it up. Good.
Of course. I will. I don't know how much of it I'll play.
Right.
But I always pick up a copy, to support Marcus since I've been purchasing every Out of the Park since 2000, 2001, ever since I first saw the game.
Is that when you started a year after I did? Because I started in 1999. Yeah.
And I'm already going through it right now, and I could tell you, you're 100%. I know you're going through certain things.
Mm-hmm.
I've already tested the 3D, and I know you like photos. I prefer the face gen. But I could tell you this: I've already played the 3D. The 3D is very, very smooth. Now I have a high end machine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can run anything on this computer, but it's very, very smooth. It's a lot better than last year's model. It's been updated. It really almost looks like an out of the MLB The Show format.
It's getting there. It's nice.
And, it's getting there. It's as I said, it's very clean. It's loaded with very nice features that I always like every year that I get from Out of the Park. Don't get me wrong, I play it, when I want to play a quick a quick game, a quick sandbox, taking the Mets, maybe or some team, forward into the future, starting with 2024. My issue still is is replay, but I think it has improved the replay value. Because remember, to me, I still say action is the best when it comes to doing a replay season. But Out of the Park has gotten better, and I look, and as I said, I'm looking at each page here. The colors, of course, are nice and bright, and of course,
I love this. I just to interrupt for a second. This is going to seem really like for some people, like, yeah, who cares? I like the more subdued green on the numbers now.
Yes, I do.
I like that.
I do. I like the subdued green. It's very clear to play. I have a 4K monitor, so I'm seeing this in 4K. So
nice.
And there's no what do you call it? No grains, no lines.
Mm-mm.
The logos are very nice. I don't know why they never put the regular Mets logo in there. They just put the Mets script. I always got to change that every single time. I don't know why that's not the Met logo. The logo is the baseball logo. Okay, with the Mets. That I don't know why I don't know.
Right, that. Yeah, because there they are. They're even doing. Oh no! Actually, there you go. There you go. Look at that.
Well,
there it is. They got it right, Robert. There it is. There's the baseball.
But you see that logo. You remember you got 19. You got
this is 67
loaded up. I have 2020. I loaded up the standard game.
Oh, the new one. Okay.
They still have that Met script in there. So now I gotta get the logos all. I gotta just change that logo, which I have all logos.
Right.
I have all Out of the Park stuff, but all changed up. And yes, I just downloaded Silvum's setup. But I now got to get the ballpark. I got to get his ballpark set up, and like I said, I wish you would be on. I wish you would join us here to, get that, get that set. But no, and now the one thing, I remember do you remember when the minor league system was never always complete?
Right.
Was never complete. Now the minor league system is totally complete.
Yes.
With all the with all the with all the setups and everything. So now, it's just, it really has Marcus. He has just gotten better and better and better with every single with every single
Oh yeah.
every single year. Now, of course, because of certain copyright issues, if you go to the American League, you're going to see the Cleveland Guardians, not the Cleveland Indians.
But you can change that.
You can change that.
Yes,
Yeah,
you can change it.
I don't know. I just don't understand why. Sometimes
that's Cleveland. That's not Out of the Park. So
I know that's Cleveland. I know.
Yeah,
that's Cleveland,
they want to revise history, and that's a shame. I wanted to highlight something here. This is high praise from Steve Tate. So if there's a guy out there that knows baseball sims, it's this guy, and we all do, Robert, right? But one of the big issues with Out of the Park baseball and in previous iterations was how it assigned range and fielding ratings. And Steve was saying he was also pleased with how it assigned range and fielding ratings for the replay season. That's pretty high praise. And if I was Marcus Hindson and knew about Steve Tate, and I'd be like, damn, we did it right. For Steve to say that, and Steve's not a kind of person to heap any empty praise. In fact, the man's a guru of action PC baseball, and he has also been quick to point out some of the flaws in that game as well. And let's face it, guys, no game is perfect, and I am not going to sit here. Even though this one and Action PC Baseball are my two favorite digital baseball sims, neither are perfect. But I will say once again, these two are perfectly complementary. Now, for Robert, again, Robert feels that Action PC for him is a better replay engine. A lot of people have argued this is better as a career engine.
Yeah, there is no better career engine than Out of the Park. There really, and the thing about one thing I like about Out of the Park, okay, is if I want to start playing the Mets in 1962 and do my own drafting and do my own, and get play, what I do is I like to start actually in 1961, so that, and then that the 1961, I just simulate the 61 season, so then I can draft in 1962 for the Mets to see how many, if I can win a championship faster with the Mets in before 1969. I actually have done that. I did win a title in 1967 at one point. I did win one in 1970. But that's the one thing I love about it, because the career engine, it's great to start at 2024 and move higher, but I always feel it's best to start at a period where you want to take your favorite team and see if you can do better than what they did. Like, maybe you you want to take the Mets that started in 1962 and move forward, draft Tom Seaver, maybe draft some other players that, like, maybe at one point on the Mets, I was able to draft Tom Seaver, Steve Carlton, Don Sutton, okay, Gaylord Perry, okay, and I was also able to draft Vida Blue. I had all 5 of those players on those pitchers on the Mets. And of course, the engine usually tries to be historical. So of course, my pitching dominated with that kind of rotation. I mean, they're all Hall of Famers, or at least or should be, Vida Blue,
right?
But that's the one thing I love about the system, that you can start in any season. I mean, hey, you want to go ahead, maybe take the Boston Red Sox before 1967, see if you can build that team up so they win in 67. I mean, there's so many people out there that love, what is it? Al Red Sox fan. He loves the 1967 Boston Red Sox. He loves
Yes, he does. The impossible dream team, right?
The impossible dream team that probably should have won it all, okay, and just didn't. He loves the 67 Red Sox. Of course, I love the 86 Mets. I mean, I did replay the 86 season one point with the Mets in that year, utilizing, historical lineups and all that. But, that's the one thing I love about this, is that you can start at any point in period of history. I mean, and at one point I actually started I once started at 1901. And I wanted to do something that someone did. He wanted to win a World Series with every single franchise.
Oh, wow.
I forget who it was. I think it was Mattingly. I think his thing was Mattingly was was his name. And he
Mhm.
started in 1901. He started with like the Philadelphia Athletics. And when they won a series, then they won a champion. But what he did worse to first.
Right.
So he took the worst team in baseball, like in 1901. I guess maybe they were I think it was the Philadelphia Athletics. And then he won a title with that. Then when he won that championship, he then
Mhm.
went back. He then left that team and then went to another last place team and tried to bring them up and to win a title. And I think it took him. I think he was, and of course, as you know, you're trying to do it, and the league will expand normally. So in
Yes.
61, you'll get new teams. In 69, you'll get new teams. I think he was able to do it, but I think it took him to the year 2035 to finally do it. I think to win
Nice.
every single team that way.
I love it, and I think you're right. I mean, career mode, it really shines. I think I would say at this point that up to now, I think you're correct, and I'm not going to say you're incorrect. I think what we're going to see is more people playing out seasons as the months go on, and this we'll see how close this can measure up to. Because they have made significant changes. But that being said, I think I know you play Action PC more. I try to play them both fairly evenly, because there are things that this can do that the other can't, and vice versa.
Yes.
But again, because I like to do fantasy leagues and stuff like this, there are times that I like the ease of use of this one better. We'll get into a game in a few minutes. As Steve says, yep, looks good at a quick glance, more to come. Absolutely true. Answer a couple questions. So Dwayne, importing players, photos from Out of the Park 24, basically copy the photos from your photo directory from 24 and put them into 25. That's just good old fashioned Windows copy paste. It's all it is. Now, for those of you, in prior years, we had to wait for Mike Silva's stuff to come up on Workshop. But as you saw, it's there and they're here, and I'll show you. Let's go to the Mets home screen, and let's go to settings, and let's go to edit ballpark. And ballpark factors don't look like they're set up right because I see Citizens Bank Park. So
Right.
you got to do a little bit of work there, unfortunately. But see, we have our 3D model here. Looks like I'm going to have to reinstall again because when I did this morning, this still wasn't full release. So
Right.
yeah, but it is there. It is there. Pictures and coordinates. I'll do another video on how to set all this stuff up. All right, we're going to go into a game using that all-time great Quick Start because I want to talk about that. But I like the idea that they've added some cool things now, like picture framing and how they've kind of granularized speed rating now, because speed isn't just about stealing bases. It is about avoiding double plays, and it's about even stretching that single into a double, which is something Action PC has, right? Because Action PC has a speed speed rating, a steal rating, right? So you're going to have guys that, and this has it too, but now they've broken it down even more, and other things. I like the fact that they've taken contact out of the power equation. I think that makes sense. Think of players like Dave Kingman comes immediately to mind. Also, Willie Stargell. They weren't, and we'll look at modern day Kyle Schwarber, right? No one's going to call Kyle Schwarber a great contact hitter, but if he can get hold of the ball, it's gone. And I like that they've taken that into account, and I'm hoping that we're going to see players like Kingman, Stargell, right, play a little. We're going to see Kingman probably strike out a lot more, as it should be, right? Kingman's going to strike out, or he's going to hit it 3 count. He's over. Yeah. So good stuff. Did I see what Buckshot said? What did I see? But you tried that and it didn't work. Worked perfectly for me. Worked perfectly for me, man. So let me show you just really quickly what I did. All right, I'll bring this screen over here. Come here. Windows Explorer. Thank you very much. Get over here. All right, so let's go to desktop, and I have this on my D directory. So give it a minute here. D directory, program files, blah, 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 86. And then find your Steam directory. There we go, Steam. And Steam apps. And also remember, too, that with Out of the Park Baseball, don't confuse photos with pictures. That's a common mistake. If you do that, nothing's going to work. All right, so go down here, go to your Out of the Park 24 directory, data. All right, and then go to photos. My player photos, there's only 35,000 in here. I need to update it, so not everybody's in here, but there's enough. So all I did was Control A to select them all, copy them, right? Then just go back up. So you saw all these guys here, right? Now, if I go up here, up, and I go to 25 and data and photos, there you are, guys. There they are. So you have to disable face gen for these to come up. If you don't disable face gen, you're going to get face gen, right? So you want it to look, you want to specify no fictional pictures. That may be why it didn't work for you, Buckshot. So it will. And again, just as proof, pick a team. Pick any team. I don't care. Detroit Tigers, since Steve is in here. Okay. So let's look at the Tigers. There's McAuliffe, Cash, K-Line, Horton, Bill Freehan, Northrop, Wirt, Dick Trasuski. They're all here. Even the great Ray Euler is in here. So it might have something to do, Buckshot, with how you set at the very beginning in settings and face gen. The reason I prefer this over face gen is again, as you guys know, I like to not only talk about these players of bygone era, but also to see what they actually look like. The face gen during the beta, I just left face gen on, and Rod Carew was a white dude with a goatee and a mustache. So
that's why you go ahead and you just get the, because you can download the face gen set and you'll get all the players.
And you can get the face gen set. I just prefer, I think it's a matter of preference. I like the real photos. And for those of you that want, and I'm sure Steve would be cool with it, Steve Tate has done these, for those of us in the Fields of Dreams League and all that kind of stuff. You can put his great baseball cards in here if you want to.
Yeah.
One thing I would like to see in Out of the Park baseball is something that Action PC does, that you can have it look in a specific directory for photos. That's kind of a thing. The other thing that I love about Action PC when working with photos, since we're talking about those, is let's say somebody doesn't have a photo or it's in the correct photo, right? Well, you can preview the photo in Action PC baseball and bring it in. This one, you're just going to be looking through. And if you've got somebody named Jim Smith, well, you could have 6 Jim Smiths and you don't know which one you're getting. Or Bob Johnson comes immediately to mind. There's been more than one in the game. So another nice thing that I love about this, and again, I don't want to tread over what the game does well. We do. But I think it's nice to compare against another great baseball sim. So this is really, really nice. I've always loved the way the depth chart works in this, because if I want, so for instance, has Mickey Stanley in here, right? So he's going to be in here every 15th game in center field. You can change this the way you want. Action PC, you're doing a lot of lineups. This is the way to do it. And I like it. Not that one way is better than the other. This feels more intuitive to me. So set your depth chart, anything that you want. But now let's go into a game and let's look at some of the new things that are in game, and let's look at how smooth it is. Now, again, this I've shown this to some of the guys in on Discord. Discord is lousy for streaming, so it's more jank than usual. So we're going to load a game here, and this is the quick start that you guys definitely should pick up on the Out of the Park forums. The ballparks, everything looks nicer this year. And that's saying something. Will this thing ever be MLB The Show? No, it won't. But look, so there you go. Again, now we're looking at player small errors. There's Noodles Hahn, and there's a nice picture of Jose Rico. There's Frank Sullivan, if we have any Frank Sullivan fans up here. All right, let's pick a game and we'll play a little bit just to look at it. We don't have to call the game or anything. So we'll just go to scores, and you can see I've been doing a lot of playing. So Giants Yankees. This should be fun because we'll take one of Dwayne's favorite teams and a team that he hates. He hates the Giants. So there we go. Yeah, if Steve could post more of his amazing work. So he has, yeah, so you and I agree, Random Human, real. But again, some people are going to say the opposite. And Mike Silva's the guy to talk to because there's a really neat face gen thing that he does. And they're really, really, really nice. So I prefer, it's preference. But Mike, Mike, where are you? He's probably over there in the Discord thinking up more trades and things like that for his D-gens. So let's go ahead and do this. We're going to have Carl Hubbell versus Andy Pettitte. Should be pretty good. All right. Let's see. Look at this. Babe Ruth batting in the number 2 spot. But what are you going to do with a lineup like this? You got the Mick and fourth. Now, you can see I'm not terribly updated. I got to update this file. There's no Lou Gehrig in there, no Phil Rizzuto. And I can live with that for now. Do I have a designated hitter? Yes, but we're going to make that go away. We're going to make that go away. I don't know if this is good. Right. Let's just go. Let's have some fun. Just give it a second. So here we are, Yankee Stadium. So I've added a few widgets in here. So this year now, one of the new things you can do is show the spray chart. And it's also going to show whether the infield is normal, outfield's normal, or whether they're guarding the lines, playing in, whatever. But you also have the spray chart for each hitter. So as the game goes on, you'll see where the ball's been hit and all that. And as this is an opening day, quote unquote, let me down. I think the crowd volume is probably a little loud. So let me bring that down. I like it loud, but that's me. I like over here now that
they have now. You have the
options are here.
Stuff now on the side instead of between the two teams.
Right.
That looks better. That was a better idea.
Much better. And because before you would see just this little window up here. Now you're seeing about 40% at a time, which is really, really nice. I'm going to leave. Yeah, let's turn the crowd down just for this game a little bit. 90 even makes a big set there. There we go. Is there anything else I want to do? No, I think we're good enough for right now. So let's return to the game. And I'm just going to let it manage. So the first thing that I noticed, again, is how smoothly this pan is going to go around the stadium. So let's do it. And I'm looking at the YouTube preview there. It looks pretty damn nice. Little smoother again in front of my face, but
of course, on my computer it just goes around very, very nicely.
Right. So there you. So there's the new dynamic camera, and goes right where it should go this time. Sometimes it would get a little bit weird. So
I turn that off. I don't use that. I don't mind watching my game from a fixed position. It doesn't bother me.
Right. No, I get it.
It's nice that the feature is there, but not necessary. I can live without it.
Now, one of the bugs that I've noticed, and this is still a bit of a bug, is sometimes the screen filters won't show, and it's misbehaving for me tonight, so I can't show you some of the screen filters. But for those of you that have bought it, play around with it. You can have it look like a black and white broadcast, and I was really hoping it would do that for me. But this is something that's still kind of been hit or miss for me. May not be for your mileage, will vary. But just watch some of the animations. We'll change some camera angles.
They got better.
Yes, they are. Now, what I would like it to do is have the first base, like I want to see them overrun and make the turn to go back and stuff like that. That's asking a lot. I realize it. Let's change some. Let's go to a home plate camera, and let's leave it for there now. We'll just kind of muck about. Maybe we'll leave it at that because I want to see the pitcher wind up a little better. You'll see some nice leaping catches, some things that are still missing in the game. You're not going to see shortstops leaping over runners to make the throw to first on a double play, unfortunately. collisions, not yet. Yeah, Aaron, it does sucks that it isn't blind accessible. I can understand this part not being, but the 2D version could be. But this game has always been, so this stuff here isn't text; it's actually graphics, and they would have to recode the game. And I wish there was a way they could do it, or at least have some way in which, you know, there would be some way that software for sightless people would be able to communicate with the game. So you can see here, it also, you have the runner on first up here. It's showing it here. The same widgets are up here. The team info is nice. Just at a glance, you can see available pinch hitters for each team. I don't think I'd ever play a game of Out of the Park now without this on. It's nice to have this at a glance. Still has the same mouse over here for stats for players. Another feature, though, that is missing from Out of the Park 25 is what the player did in his last at bat. And I really, really wish it had that. Okay, let's get a little better view of the pitcher coming in. Good speed on the ball again, and the camera's tracking a lot better than it has since before they started. I usually don't play this mode either, using the dynamic camera, but I've been impressed with it so much that it's like, okay, let's give it a go. And I've been pretty happy with it. Pretty happy with it. All right. And there's another view from way up here that'll just shoot down here. And again, camera's tracking nicely. And a nice little angle there going into second. So Lou Gehrig with a double here. I just wish this thing was, because in earlier betas, this was working really, really nicely for me. But now it's being a bit of a pain in the arse. So I can't, it's like I was waiting to show you this, and this one I can't. Of course, it still comes with the classic 3D view, which looks really nice. A lot of people, I know our Red Sox fan is a big fan of this one. As you can see, more stats off the rip right there, so we can see, in other words, how Joe DiMaggio will be doing against Carl Hubble throughout the season. I tend to like the modern 3D view. I like the look of the logos over there and things like that. But we'll let this play a couple batters here, just from here. So again, a lot of customization that you can do on here. Of course, your configure screen button is here. So where do you want everything is where you can, you can just put things where you want them. This stream isn't about being able to do this. This has been around since Out of the Park 20 or 21, I think. So let you guys play around with this. All right. I'm going to go back to show the other views really, really quickly. This is all about options, this game. Okay. Of course, you can always switch to pitch by pitch.
You can make this game as easy as or hard as
you want, right?
The one thing about Out of the Park is you can truly, really do the amount of customization in this game is beyond any other baseball game, at least for PC. All right, as best as you can get. There is no other game that is as customizable as this game is. Okay, I mean,
no.
Plus, like I said, for one price, you get the entire history of baseball for one price.
Yes, you do.
You don't have to buy seasons. They're already come with the game. They load up very fast. Okay.
Oh yeah.
You get great 3D. Now that they got a great 3D view, it almost looks like MLB The Show. It almost does. They're getting there, and I think if I'm correct, the graphics guys, I think they're affiliated with San Diego Studios, I think, because if you look at the ballparks in 3D, and then you load up MLB The Show on your PS5, they almost look very similar.
There's a lot of similarities. I don't know. I think Mike said something. They had one 3D guy, but I don't know who builds their ballparks. And it's actually a testament to Mike Silva's ballparks, how good they look. So It is a modern ballpark because in this quick start, it just assigns the modern ballparks. Do you need something to use the 67 parks? Yes. So as I mentioned before, Buckshot, before this game was released, I had downloaded all of Mike's stuff when this was still technically a beta. So I actually would have to reinstall all of that. So it's, again, using Mike Silva's uniform mod, which everybody forgets
which
about.
I just downloaded. I forget how I haven't touched this. What do I forget? Do I just go ahead and load it up into the I know.
So we'll go back to the start. Oh, there we go. Now it's working. Hey, this is how we get back. Now we're going to see screen filters. Then we'll get to your question. So this is like a cinema. So you can see it's got like this little grainy.
Yeah, that's
yep.
Cute.
So let's go to let's see if we can get it to go TV. There. Now this is a TV game like Sepia. And if you notice here, right, the little curvature of the tubes, you'll see it a little bit more here. There you go. So that's kind of fun.
Game like an old style game. So in other words, if you want to play a game between the New York Giants and maybe the Brooklyn Dodgers back in the 1910s, and you want to switch it to like maybe black and white TV or something, you can actually run it in black and white, which is actually pretty cool.
Exactly. Hey, Will Tool. Hey, D. Scott. Let's look at
Scott Howard, the Goat Whisperer.
The Goat Whisperer. You can also get scan lines. So we do TV black and white. There's the old scan lines.
Old scan lines, yep.
And so we do this. It's like, look, how cool is that?
That is cool.
I actually, this is my favorite one, is the black and white one of all the screen ones. It's pretty cool, but let's move on because I'm glad now. So I guess you've got to switch out of a view and back in, but it's I think they'll fix that. All right. Let's do desaturated color. So this would be like great grandma's old TV. She had a color TV. See how washed out? So very kind of 70s, I guess, early 80s, perhaps.
So there's Out of the Park 25. So where is, I forget where that's the files.
Okay, let's go to now for you guys that have a Jones for 1990s video games and you want to make this look like a 1980 or 1990 video game. Shazam. Look at those colors.
Yeah, there you go.
How about that?
Yeah, that looks like
LaRussa 3.
LaRussa 3.
Yep.
Almost looks like Ken Griffey Jr. baseball.
It does. Yeah, you're right. Actually,
Ken Griffey
point.
Jr. baseball. I remember playing that on the Super Nintendo. That was fun. That was a fun game to play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, soon I'm on the channel, I'm going to fire up a bunch of emulators, and we're going to go and look at a lot of these older baseball games, like TV Sports Baseball and that probably people haven't seen in 1,000 years. Standard black and white is just standard black and white. No scan lines. It's just a game in black and white.
Now where is the file to get into the? So I see program files. Was it in users? Is that where that is?
For what, Robert?
In order for me to install all the ball, because I just re-downloaded.
Oh, so you have to. I'll show you that in a second. And then there's standard desaturated. Now, for those of you who'd like to experience a little bit of weirdness, the next ones are weird. So this one, when this patch dropped, before I show you this one, so the patch dropped.
Pencil drawing?
And I'm like, so I fired it up and it defaulted into this. I guess Marcus was like, let's give them a shock. And my first thing was, what the hell happened to my video card? And you'll see why. I'm like, what? So we'll go let it do a batter. I mean, it looks like a really nice pencil drawing, but
it does.
Are you really going to use these modes? Probably not. Like something like this.
It's just something cute. Now you got to load up futuristic.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. So you've been there.
And crayon.
All right. So futuristic. I don't know how to describe this one, so I'll let you decide. There it is.
Yeah. There you go. It looks like you're playing a game on. Is it me, or does it look like it's being played in the Tron universe?
Mm-hmm.
That's Tron baseball. Yeah.
I think you nailed it. I think you nailed it.
The Tron universe, right there, which of course was an awesome movie. Both.
Oh, great movie. And
both
then besides all of these,
And
we've got to show crayon, but then there's
Gotta show
another, there's a customizable one too. So let's go to 3D. I'm still getting used to this new, and crayon is, there we go.
That's pretty cool too.
Yeah, it's kind of a neat look to it. Now, the other thing that you can do here is you can do, oh, where the hell is it? There's a way here where it's customizable, and I forget how I found it. So once I find it, you guys will know. I'm not going to do it for right now, but we're going to go back to the default looking game. All right, so we've seen a bunch of that stuff, so we're going to jump out of here. We might as well just sim this game. Yankees 3-0. Let's go ahead and simulate it all the way out. And Dwayne will be happy to note his Yankees pounced all over the Giants 12-2. All right, now to use mods in this game. So Steam users know that usually when you subscribe to a mod, it downloads and installs the mod. All right, that does oh, there's so many camera angles, Will Tool. Oh my God, there's so many. And yeah, and you can make your own too. So remember, in fact, for the Bats League, which I accidentally destroyed, I created all kinds of custom camera angles, which looked really pretty, and then I lost the whole thing. I have to recreate it again. So when you guys are at the opening screen, and Out of the Park Baseball does save automatically. Oh, speaking of saving, a new thing that's coming to Out of the Park Baseball is cloud integration. So you could be at your desktop playing this, and let's say you go somewhere and you want to take your laptop, you're on a business trip, whatever, take your laptop, fire into Steam, it will download whatever you're playing onto your laptop. So you don't have to like, oh shit, I have to play this on my laptop over here. It puts all your saves up onto the cloud. Really nice. So they're still working on that. It's not quite there yet. Okay, you have to go to Workshop Central. All right, let's go to Steam first. Steam. Let's go to Library. Okay, and let's go to Workshop. All right. I should show this with another game, actually. But when you subscribe to something, like if I wanted to describe, in fact, let's do it with another game just to show you the difference. I don't know. Damn it. Does it really matter? It doesn't really matter. Let's just go to home, find a cool looking game that has all kinds of mods to it and stuff. By the way, guys, you should be getting V Rising. Great game. Stellaris has like mods like crazy. So let's do Stellaris. So I just want to show you the difference between these, how you do things.
Command and Conquer, all those days.
They're back. They are back and modernized, baby.
I know, they're still amazing.
Okay, so usually with a Steam game, when you go to Workshop, so like for instance, Stellaris, which has 8 billion of them. So if we go here, let's just find like say buildings mods. All right. And so let's say that, I wanted something like, I'm trying to find something not in Chinese. There, planetary diversity. So if I would subscribe to this right now, as soon as I click it, then what it's going to do, it's going to tell me the additional things that I would need to do. Subscribe to all. And then what it will do is it would actually start downloading in this game. However, Out of the Park Baseball is a different beastie. So you go to Workshop Central, and it says this item is downloaded. Click here to install or reinstall it. So this is a bit that everybody forgets to do. I've forgotten how to do it myself, right? So pardon me 1 second, guys. Still trying to get over the creeping death.
Oh, I knew how to do it, but I didn't.
So all you do here, so we have this, the historical Major League Stadiums, 1981, right? And then I'm just going to do this. And now it's actually creating all these folders. Hey, Jeff Hunter. Jeff Hunter is loving the new game. It's great to see you, Jeff. Things are going well. Hopefully things are going well with you. Will too thought the last years were a bit skimpy out of the box. This year, Oh, you mean the camera angles? Perhaps. This is going to take a few minutes. So this would be a good time to just give you kind of my thoughts on the game. Obviously, it's going to be no surprise. I think you should buy the game. If you've been buying Out of the Park Baseball, I think they've really, really done a lot. And again, we haven't touched on Perfect Team. Mike hasn't talked about the magic of Face Gen. I don't use it, so Mike is a better guy to talk to. Perfect Team apparently will have some sort of sandbox mode this year. I don't know whether Mike has delved into that too deeply yet. Hopefully he will, and maybe do something on his channel, or certainly have him on here to talk about it, whichever. I think if you're new to Out of the Park Baseball, this is, again, buy it, because and I'll just keep this to digital games. And disclaimer, I am not knocking other digital games, but for the price of right now a season and a half of PC Replay Baseball, as Robert said, you get the entirety of American professional baseball, except the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, but who knows, somebody might mod that at some point. But you're basically getting major leagues, minor leagues, Negro leagues, all that stuff, right? Hang on a sec. Last vestiges of the flu hanging on here. This game is, again, Robert, I think you had the comment of the night here on the mic. This game is as easy or as complicated as you would like it to be. You want to create something really nuts, go for it. You want to play with entirely fictional players, go for it. You want to make a team with just all Babe Ruth versus Hank Aaron, which, by the way, there used to be a game called Ruth versus Aaron, right? You guys remember that one? There was. You can do it. You can do it all in this game. You want to replay Pacific Coast League, go for it. You want to see, when Joe DiMaggio was playing for the San Francisco Seals, and the, the scouting report was DiMaggio went 1-for-4 today against Satchel Paige. He's ready for the majors. Go do it. Do you want to play a World Series project like Dwayne Martz is doing? Do it. Do it. So this takes a while, obviously. There's a lot going on here. So my grade for this, I hate to give letter grades. So I would just say Out of the Park Baseball 25 is the best iteration all the way, and it's excellent. It is excellent.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I've never really played a copy of Out of the Park where the next version was worse. I never really had it's some I will say a couple of versions, yes, took little baby steps from one to the next. But ever since he instituted the 3D mode, and now of course he just got with the makers now to create the 3D system that's with him and such. Marcus is really. I'm surprised. I think he did an interview with him, and he can't believe what his game has turned into from all those days when he did Out of the Park Baseball 1.
Oh, how about it? How about it?
Even he can't believe it.
Yeah, and he said that he in an interview he played in a German baseball league, and he had mentioned he was so obsessed with the game, and he thought, wouldn't it be fun to create a baseball game, and it's turned into a pretty nice livelihood for him.
It has.
And this was a single developer from Germany, who's made arguably one of the two best baseball sims out there. And again, I think I've seen other guys play PC Replay. I think it's amazing. I think the digital adaptation. The only reason I'm waiting on that, Robert, is why. Older seasons. Waiting for Chris to do older seasons. I know it's going to be a while.
Right.
I think it's excellent. But what I look for in a baseball game is flexibility. And for the price, there's no game that gives you the flexibility of Out of the Park Baseball. For Action PC Baseball, you've got to buy seasons if you want flexibility, or at least buy the Baseball History Collection, or download Steve Tate's 5-year files, or King of Diamonds files, or whatever. But out of the box, this is it. There's another little feature that will never get advertised about Out of the Park Baseball. I have never seen a game play dead ball baseball perfectly right out of the rip as this one does, and it does. It just does. I'll watch. And again, I wasn't around. None of us were around in the dead ball era, but I've read so many books and firsthand accounts of dead ball baseball, and it's spooky how well it plays. But most people don't play in that era, so that's one of the unsung features of out of the park baseball. I think the player development thing is a lot of fun for people that like to experiment and do what ifs without getting really crazy. I think that getting more granular with ratings and separating things out that shouldn't be there, I think, are kind of important. I think using BABIP is a nice addition. I kind of dismissed it, even fairly recently. It's kind of like, another sabermetric, but it's pretty important. So minuses, because I don't think there's a such thing as a perfect baseball game, at least digitally. I'm not going to comment on cards and dice, but at least digitally, is out of the park baseball really needs a nice feature. So Action PC players, Robert, you're a big Action PC fan. You've told me use it when you're researching your season replays for cards and dice, is you can hover over innings and see what happened. In an Action PC baseball game, you can also hover over the batter, see what he's done throughout the game. The only way that happens in out of the park baseball is you've got to watch either that little summary down at the bottom. You also have to watch the play-by-play, and you might not always get it. But that being said, I think if you start adding features from each game, then you might as well just smack them together and make one game. So it's good that they have their differences. With out of the park baseball, if you want to do some quick research on a player, you don't have to leave the game. You basically have baseball reference inside it. Not to the level of baseball reference or, let's say, StatHead for those of us who subscribe to StatHead, but I think it's really, really good. So those are my thoughts on it. I would say for a casual or serious baseball fan, it's a must buy. If you want to play along with the 2024 season, you have two options now. You want to explore straight season replays. You want to build a dynasty. You want to play an era of baseball. You want to try a random debut. You want to do a World Series project, a tournament. It's all here under the hood. Robert, what are your thoughts?
I think that it has really come. I think it's really, come up here. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. I mean, the one at one point I was very, very much high into the game. Okay,
Right.
very high into the game. I did a real-time season along with the Mets. I did one for 2016. I did one for 2017. I pretty much took all the best players in the whole league and put them on the Mets and played the schedule along with the regular season and all that. I did that a couple of times. I did, I was always, and then of course I started doing uniforms. I started, I started some of the David L. Miller stuff, some of a whole bunch of the updated uniforms. It's still on the site, but of course now they're useless because now the uniform setups and the textures are now different because now you have pants and stuff and everything's different now. So I look, I had actually some people say, you're going to go ahead and redo these uniforms with the new setup. I said, nah, it's a little bit too much for me. Plus right now I'm now doing more cards and dice than I am digital baseball. Okay. I don't really have the time. What I do is when I want to play something, I just load it up and I play a little bit.
Right.
And, but as far as the game itself, though, like I said, the one thing that kind of kicked me a little bit out of it was sometimes I still think the AI can be gamey, and I have issues with a gamey AI. And at least if it's, if something, you see, the thing about cards and dice, if something happens in cards and dice, unless I'm using loaded dice, which I don't, okay, the dice are going to roll the way they're going to roll, and it's going to end up on the batter card or the hitter card or whatever, and that's it. There is no gamey AI, okay, in cards and dice, unless of course you want to cheat, then okay, fine. But then what,
Right.
then what's the point? Okay.
Right.
But when you play computer game, I still say the artificial intelligence, like when I play a game against another team, which I really should win in a series, and then I
Mhm.
don't. Okay, like how can I say this? The 1927 New York Yankees,
Mhm.
and they play a World Series against the 1927 Pittsburgh Pirates, because I believe they
Mhm.
played the Pirates that year, right? Okay,
Yeah, 27 Yankees murdered the Pirates in
murdered the
4.
Pirates.
Yes.
There should be, I should play, if I play 100 World Series between the 27 Yankees and the 27 Pirates, you figure you should win at least what, maybe at least 95% of that, maybe even higher. I understand you can have bad games, but
Mhm.
1927 Yankees is considered pretty much the best team in baseball history.
Well, they came back in 1928 and did the same thing to the
I did the same
Cardinals.
thing. I did the same thing again, but the 27 Yankees, is considered pretty much, a lot of people consider the best team ever.
Mhm.
Okay, all of baseball, they figured that team should not lose to anybody in a best of 7.
Mhm.
All right, but at one point, another, and I didn't do that in Out of the Park. I actually have on my channel Stratomatic PC.
Mhm.
On my channel, it's there where I read when I did the 1927 World Series between the Yankees and the Pirates,
Mhm.
and the Yankees lost.
Right.
So now I understand that's a cards and dice thing, all right,
Mhm.
but then again, that's PC rolling the dice. So how do I know the PC is not? Oh, wait a minute. How, I understand all this. Well, it's not. It's the AI is just rolling the dice. I said, yeah, but the AI does know, okay, what the result is going to be on a certain dice roll. Okay, it knows that. You see, when I roll dice, there's no brains in a roll in 3 cubes.
No.
But how do we know the AI in a game doesn't know what the result is on a certain roll of the dice, and somehow may roll that result just to get the result for itself or against you? How do you know that? Now,
Iridescence, welcome in. Welcome in. Haven't seen you in a
how
while.
do you know?
You don't know.
You
I
don't.
would counter with this, right? Because and actually, Robert, it'd be great to have you on some night. Because with our digital Diamonds and Dice podcast. So apologies there to Dave Gardner and
Yes,
Ron
Pete
Jucka,
Scott Howard is
who,
right.
by the way,
AI cheats.
who's
Yes,
given
it
us
does, Pete
who's
Scott.
given us our given us the blessing and say it's all. We know that what, but the AI is gonna but you know what, real baseball managers cheat. Just ask the 2017 Astros. My point, I guess, is my counter is this, and where I'd like to get you on. That's soon. Is Bernie and we've been talking a lot about the closed engine, open engine, and I think it'd be fun to have a sort of discussion, a show. I would like to devote the entire hour to that discussion. The other thing I did want to mention about this game too, is you'll notice here when you're setting strategy, you see here where it says in red, you are adjusting the strategy for all innings and all scores. But look what else I can do. I can change manager tendencies. I can break it down into, let's say, from the 1st through the 6th, and whether I'm up 4 runs, 2 to 3 runs, I'm close, or I'm trailing down to leading. So if I hit small trail, and I can start. If you wanted to adjust all this stuff, you could. You could also go into strategy presets. Do you want to play this with however you want to play it? So what cards and dice can't do, and I don't want to make this a conversation about what one can and can't do. I think they're both brilliant. I'm having a lot of fun with Pocket Pennant Run and Dead Ball, a thing called Dead Ball Baseball, and Back to Basics. And I want to jump into one of the bigger ones again now too. Is this? I can say, because you're dealing with dice rolls, and I think cards and dice are perfect for right when you're doing a replay. The dice, you're going to throw them, what have you. But this, if I wanted to, again, I'm a what if guy, so I wouldn't be afraid. I would love to take the power crazy season, when McGwire, is the first one to reach 70 home runs. But maybe I want to play it as moderate small ball. And I love that. So I love the freedom that digital gives me. And because I can get this granular in out of the park baseball, not only at the manager level, but also at the player level. And I had mentioned that before. So let's take Maz, for instance, and let's look at our strategy. I can set, and you can do this in Action PC Baseball. There are more options here in out of the park baseball per player. Another reason why we're going to use this in McGreevy, because stealing's important, and I want people to be able to up this if they want or do whatever. Is that so? I think what I'm getting from you saying is you're saying, yes, great career mode, everything like that. Let's see how it does in replay mode. And I think, Robert, if I'm hearing you correctly, I think for many people in the community, that's going to be the acid test of this game. How well would do a strict season replay, especially since when we go to when we go to the start screen here and we want to create. And by the way, the workshop integration not working properly, guys, right now. So even though it seems to be downloading Mike's Ballparks, it's actually not. So if you're in a hurry, you need to use them, copy them from your out of the Park 24 directory into 25. They will work, or just wait for the workshop to function properly. It's just not functioning properly yet. That's why I was messing around in File Manager just to see, and it's not working yet. So hang in there, or just do a copy paste. It doesn't take any longer than it does to install it the way you saw here. But soon we go to here in a new game, right? So again, we'll do a historical game and no bloody challenge mode. I don't care. So when it's saying now that replay mode is meant for players who want historical accuracy entirely based on their performance, will follow trends, and they'll be assigned to their teams and actual lineups. So they're saying right here, right, because before it was default, career, and random debut. Well, now you've got this. So I think the acid test, Robert, is going to be, all right, they've added this in. How's it going to play? And I think that we're going to find out through the year. Is this really going to be, for some people, a viable and accurate single season replay game? It's opening its release day for this thing. I think it's hard to tell. I am seeing people again. Mike had kindly put up that somebody was seeing really, really super accurate numbers for like early pitchers like Christy Matthews and things like that. Now, I'm pleased with that, but I also know that this game does dead ball baseball well anyhow. So maybe the test is playing a more modern season like 67 or what have you. Mike, hopefully you can get on some time and talk to people once you have some more time about Perfect Team. I know I don't play Perfect Team, but you've got me interested in it after showing some stuff on Discord. Will wanted to see a little bit about camera angles. So there's a lot of them. And okay, so the ballparks are working great for you. Okay, good. So just some things I'm doing wrong here, possibly. But Will, as far as camera angles, when you get Mike's ballpark mod, he's got a gajillion of them. But I mean, I'll show a couple. Let's not start a new game. But I did want to show you advanced mode. Remember I said how advanced mode scares a lot of people off? So let's just click, if I wish to create a custom database, but let's just click yes. So let's see, because the advanced mode is like, it gets pretty scary at times. I would say that between the two, Action PC is probably, Robert, would you agree with this, that maybe Action PC is maybe a little bit more friendly out of the box to do a season replay, like instead of going into all this crazy stuff? I mean, I think so. I think it's a little easier to come to grips with than this one. What do you think?
The one thing about Action PC Baseball, first of all, as like Action PC Baseball loads up in an instant. Okay, that's one thing I love about it. You can load
We'll
up.
bring Mike on here.
You can load up.
You're on, Mike.
You can load up an Action PC season in an instant. Really, it's very simple to install. You know, you can switch seasons with a click. All right, you know, without having to go out of the game or go into the game. The one thing that Action still can be clunky is setting up the ballpark, because you still got to, you know,
It's Zen, man. It's Zen.
And I want to go to Dave. I said, Dave, okay, you know, your game is improved every single year. It's awesome. But you got to make it easier to set up the ballpark and the pictures, because even though, all right, when I do a season for Inside Pitch, I still, in Action PC Baseball, I still set up all the teams in there, and I make sure all the pictures are with the play. Even I don't play any games, but I make sure the pictures are there, and still loading up. I got to go through every single team, and I got to go through every single player to make sure the correct picture is with that player. I don't want, you know, Tom Seaver, okay, wearing a Reds uniform when he's on the 72 Mets.
In the 72 Mets, right?
You know, so I do that. I have all the pictures, but
hey, Miguel, how you doing, man?
You know,
not bad, guys. How's it going?
Welcome in. Yeah. So I mean, my conclusion: this game is excellent. It's the best version so far. Sure. That the TLDR, man. Have you dived? Did you want to? I don't know if you want to take a moment and talk about Perfect Team. Even if you haven't messed with this, maybe to let guys know, dispel the rumor that you have to like spend money on it and things like that.
Well, I haven't messed with it. I logged in. Actually, last night I actually did it on the beta for the first time while I was showing it off, actually. And you know, we did the initial 6 packs and opened those up, and you know, opened up my what do you call it? The packs you get for the loyalty packs, I guess you get for using it every season. And then, so all I did was just do that. I mean,
so I guess I was asking, like,
there's a lot of features that they added that I haven't gotten into with Perfect Team. So they obviously put a lot of money and time into that.
They did. I was just wondering if you could talk just a little bit, Mike, for a second about how you do not have to spend money to play Perfect Team. I'm just curious, because that's what got me interested. I thought, oh my God, here we go. It's a money sink. How much real money have you spent on Perfect Team playing?
I've spent 0 on Perfect Team.
And who's one of the most amazing cards you picked up? It was Lou Gehrig, I believe, right?
Gehrig, yeah. I got a Lou Gehrig that goes for like 300,000 points or something. You could, you know, basically you could open up packs for the rest of the friggin' season if you sold it.
Right.
But no, yeah, I mean, it's just open. But see, the thing is, if you stay on top of it every day, if you just log in every day, or you know, semi recently, then you get at least a free pack every day. And then some days you get 2 free. There's a whole thing, like if you log in so many days in a row, you get like, you eventually can get a diamond pack and get a gold pack, and then with those guys you get better cards, and better cards you get a better team. Right. And then your games are simming every week no matter what, so you're accruing points.
Right.
And so every day you can open up a pack, and then you can try to build. Then the other thing is the collection missions that they have. Tons of collection missions, and when you complete those, you get free packs. You get better plays sometimes. And that's addicting too, because you just want to complete these missions, right? So it's really cool. And there's so many different ways you can accrue points. Other than just building your one team, you have tournaments you can enter, and this is all free, right? Tournament you can do. They have a PT Live, which is really cool during the season of baseball. It's just like a fantasy draft thing where every day you set a lineup. You like 1 through 9, 2 starters, 2 utility players, 2 relievers. That actually, and you want to see how they do actually how they really do in real life. And based on how they do in real life that day, you get points you get perfect points for that. So you can, every day you can go and just set your lineup every day. Those are all based on plays that you have, right? So you can't do any player. It's just you have to have the cards in order to play the guys. So
what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this edition, Mike? I mean, because I mentioned way earlier one of the other you
Well,
and I got to beta
yeah.
test this. So I
This
think
year-
it's the best
yeah.
version so far.
Well, I mean, it's easy to say. I mean, it's easy to say that. I would probably never say that it's the worst. That it's going to get worse.
No.
I mean, I haven't really, but to be fully 100% forthright, I haven't looked into all the different. I haven't really gone in as deeply as I usually do.
Hmm.
I kind of stuck around with just sticking with the stadiums, testing those out, testing the uniforms, and just the mods that I do, making sure they work.
Right.
And I really didn't, just a lot of stuff, other stuff going on, so I didn't really get a chance to do a whole lot of stuff.
I mean, like that baseball league you're in?
Yeah, that too, yeah. But so Beatles, I just saw that. I heard you just say when I got on here that you said that the Steam download's not working.
Oh no, I figured out why.
Oh, okay.
I figured out why. So I have to clear up space in my D drive. That's why. So
Oh.
it is working because it's working
see.
for other guys. Yeah, I just got to fix my D
All right,
drive.
good. I thought I didn't know. I think
Yeah.
you were out here spreading misinformation again.
No. No. I just realized it's like, oh shit. So there's stuff here I've got to knock out. But it's like anybody, man. I mean, so you guys hear me talk about like some of the music software I own, and I'm not going to get rid of it. So this is some of it right here, and you're talking. These are huge files. This is Virtual Studio Technology.
Oh, wow.
This is just and
Very
we're
good.
talking. These are like. Yeah, this one thing here is an $800 piece of software.
Wow.
So yeah, and it emulates, all these like synthesizers in here, like Synclavier 2s, which and back in 1978 cost $250,000. So I'm not going to get rid of this stuff just to play a baseball game. That's not going to happen. So the workshop integration does work. You just got to have enough room in your hard drive, and like an idiot, I have to just clean it up. So
Oh, that's okay. That's cool. That's
yeah.
all right. I was a little, I
No,
heard
we're
that.
good. We're good. I like that they put. I'm really. This is going to be fun, even though I'm not. I
Yeah,
think
it'll
this
be
might be a
interesting.
fun way. 2 ways to play the upcoming season, which is fun.
I feel like
yeah.
some of the more interesting features and that are not released yet, like that drive for the
Right.
10. There's I'm curious to know what they're doing with the Hall of Fame.
The Hall of Fame, yeah,
integration.
right.
There's that whole Hall of Fame. If you click on the Hall of Fame showcase, you see just like a little. You see
Coming
like,
soon.
they have like Hall of Fame plaques, and they have this whatever artifacts is. That sounds could be interesting. Whatever
Right,
that means.
news and info. Yeah,
So I don't know if that's just more like real life stuff that's going on, or if that's like based on a game. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work.
Oh,
I have
yeah.
no idea about what they have. The other thing, I don't know if you caught this, Beatles, but they I did mention this too. I think about the Steam integration, the Steam Cloud integration. So
Mhm.
that could be huge. I mean, if you're able to put your saves up in the cloud and save it, if you have multiple computers or just as a backup purpose,
Right.
like that's big. That's not available yet.
Right.
But I'm saying that's another huge feature that I think, but we haven't not able to see it yet. So
Yeah.
And also they are adding a sock template so we can create custom socks for the unit for those of you or those of us that want to get the uniforms even more realistic based on the historic. Like I could at some point they're going to integrate that where I'll be able to edit the socks to maybe make the dead ball socks look a little bit more. You add stirrups and stuff like that. Make the uniforms a little bit more realistic, I guess. So
guys, yeah. So the thing is, guys, is Random Human, you're talking about some features still going on there. Again, because nobody has had a chance, myself included. I mean, I worked a 9.5-hour day today, so I haven't gotten a chance to obviously go super deep yet. So I think the replay mode is going to be the acid test for those of you who do strictly season replays. There are certain things in there that that you're talking about right here. Take a look at the settings, player evaluation AI settings. It still has 50, 30, 15, 5. Shouldn't be 100% on stats. I would say go on the Out of the Park forums. I would say kind of just explore the game because they've changed a lot now in that rating system now that it goes from 0 to 550. Yeah. I'm not even exactly sure what's going on with that yet. I would say play around with the game. The Out of the Park forums are excellent. You do get a pretty quick response from the developers, and especially now. I mean, it came out. just what today it did. It when I left for work, it still wasn't out. So I don't know what time it released today, but Mike told me.
I don't know, sometime morning, mid-morning, late morning, I can't remember.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it is out. The game is going to be more expensive this year, full price. So you can jump in now for a really, really nice discount, 35% off or 30.
30% off. It's at
Something like that.
$34.99 right now.
Right. So and it's gonna be 40. It's gonna be $49.99. Let's look at the store page. It's gonna be $49.99 regular price, I believe. Or is it 30?
$34.99, $49.99 regular.
Yeah. So it's going up. So $34.99, you're getting again the entire history of American professional baseball. You have their tagline is right, the infinite baseball sandbox, and it is. I mean, and it's smooth. You guys saw a little bit of gameplay. Robert himself said, right, he says, I'm watching, playing it on his screen, and it plays smoothly, and it does. There are new animations. But again, it's those new ratings, modes, things like that. I think it's worth your money if you're a serious baseball fan. Even if you're a casual baseball fan. Dwayne Martz earlier mentioned Digital Diamond Baseball. Digital Diamond Baseball is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Does it do what this does? No, but this doesn't do what that does. So for him, it's a great game. I don't play it a lot. I know, Mike, you've been using it and
love it for the board game companion and everything. Oh, you can't. In the OTB doesn't have anything like that. So
right. So I'm hoping that when that launches, version 12, that Dwayne, and you and yourself, maybe you guys together or apart, will do a kind of quick first impressions, and that's what this really is, guys. Is a first impressions. I think once I start the McGreevy League, is when I'm going to be able to really get into the nuts and bolts of it. And that's for all of us. So I hope you enjoyed the time we spent tonight. And I don't know if anybody wants to just have a little chin wag here for a few minutes before I, take off, because I do have an early work day tomorrow. Okay. But a lot of baseball coming up. Robert, what do you got coming up tomorrow night?
Nothing. Tomorrow is another day off in between the rounds because I only had the one. I always take a break in between the rounds, so there'll be no game tomorrow. But Sunday we will have game 1 of the American League Division Series, inside pitch between the Kansas City Royals and the Boston Red Sox. And that will have Roger Nelson for the Royals, and Louis Tiant will be going for the Red Sox.
Nice.
So that is a very good matchup for Sunday morning, as we now go, because we only had one wild card game because only 5 teams made the postseason, the American League, and only 4 made the postseason in the National League. There was no wild card round at all in the National League, only because, none of them had winning seasons. So if you don't have a winning season, you're not going to play for the postseason. I'm sorry. You got to have more wins and losses.
Exactly.
So that's what I believed in. So that's what we got tomorrow. Royals and Red Sox, game 1 of the ALDS, as we now move into the postseason of 1972.
Going to be a good one. Fields of Dreams baseball, guys. That's I think there were some games. Well, there were some games today, I believe. So
no, there weren't.
There no games yet today. All right. So this week
today is a pause day.
Okay, so starting this weekend, we'll be on Action PC Baseball, and Buckshot, Mike, Bernie, and myself, possibly Steve Tate, whatever. We're going to be broadcasting games. We're going to try to feature every team in the league. We're in the month of May now. So if you guys are following, and if anybody wants to join that league for season 3, do let us know, because there's always room for expansion. Just shameless self-plug. I rarely do them. The McGreevy draft, the initial draft, is going to probably be in about a week or 2. Super easy draft. I'll let you guys know when. You do not have to own Out of the Park Baseball to play in the McGreevy League. It helps if you do, but it's not going to hurt you if you don't. So again, I think this is definitely something you should pick up. It's a baseball. This is the game. Out of the Park Baseball is the game I always wanted as a kid. I would dream about a game like this. Yeah. And, Mike was showing Micro League Baseball today on Discord. And you know, I thought, wow, this is so fun. I hope that someday a baseball game can do this or that or whatever. And you know, this game has shown really since its first edition in 1999 how brilliant it is. And I could think of a lot worse things. Another nice thing, again, opening. Usually when a game releases on Steam, and again, there's only just a few reviews right now, but if you'll notice, these initial reviews are they're all positive. People are really loving it. This guy's saying here, just buy it. This guy here has already, good God, how many hours does this guy have in it? He's got like 80 some hours in the damn thing already. So you know,
be a beta tester. Who is that?
Might be a beta tester. Let's see, who's the guy? Kevin Malone.
He's got to be a beta tester because
Right.
Actually, no. Well, the public beta came out 3 days ago, so he could have been playing that much in 3 days.
Yeah. So that's encouraging, guys. And again, I am in no wish I was. And yeah, I will say this: a lot of people might go off and think, well, you know, geez, Beatles, you're a beta tester. Well, you know what? I would tell you if the game sucked, or if I thought it wasn't worth your money, I would say, you know what, just keep playing Out of the Park 24. But there's so much more that this does. It was mentioned earlier about the player development. At first, I was kind of meh, and Mike will tell you, I was like, Mike and I were playing After messing around with it, I'm thinking of a billion different things I want to do with it now. So I love it myself. That's pretty much it, guys. I hope you'll give it a shot. And do remember, Steam does have although I don't think you can evaluate a game of this depth in 2 hours, but at least in 2 hours, you can get a taste whether you like it or not, right?
Do you want Beatles? I don't know. I know you want to go to bed, but I was just saying, if you want, I can share my screen and show you like just.
Would you?
I can show you just the beginning of how you start up a perfect team thing.
All right, you guys want to hang around and see that for a little bit?
I mean, I can do. I mean, because I haven't started it yet. And
go ahead, Mike.
But then they reset the servers again. So
yeah, please do. Please do. As soon as you're ready.
Present.
Yeah, let me turn off Out of the Park 25. Save a little bit of oomph. All right. And then we're gonna have Mike's gonna share his screen, and you'll see some cool stuff or anything you want to show, Mike. You want to show some whatever you feel like doing, some camera angles with your ballpark. Since I didn't realize my D drive was full, I feel like stupid now. So yeah, but that's right. You guys in the Field of Dreams League are used to me being stupid. All right, so guys, you're gonna see some Mike Silva magic here. This is Mike's thing now. All right.
I'm just gonna log into. And so you log into. I have an account, and so you start off. You get 6 packs to start your team with, and 1,000 perfect points. Right now, I think when I click play, I might get more packs because I've logged in as before. You have like a loyalty bonus. Let's see. So play perfect team. Dismiss this. Hold on a second. And so this is pretty cool. I mean, it's like you start off you get the 6 initial packs to build your team out, and they're not really flattering cards or anything. You might get 1 diamond card out of the 6. Diamond cards like rated 8 in the 90s. Gold cards are in the 80s. Silver in the 70s, 60s, or bronze. And then they have perfect packs, which are the perfect plays, which are 100 rated players. And those are like gold or I forget, black and gold, I guess. So anyway, so here we go. So I'm going to name my team the D-Gens from Upcountry.
I could never play fit. I just could not do perfect team. I just felt perfect team was biased against people that always seem to always get the best cards and players.
Oh
and
yeah,
I just will not play that crap because it's just. I'm sorry. To me, I'm going to say this. It's bullshit because I went ahead and played perfect team and I'm playing. I put together a good team, but I go up against a player that suddenly has all the best players. Babe Ruth, Koufax. I'm saying this is not fun. Come on, make it at least fair. They don't. No, I won't play this.
Well, it depends on what you want out of it, right? I don't care if I win or lose. I kind of just want to collect the cards. So like, but if you're in there, you want, managing your team and, every other game, whatever it is, between sims and changing, doing all that stuff. And that's fine. I'm not really into that. So I guess it's 2 different things. Like that doesn't bother me because I'm only just trying to collect the cards for myself. Like in 24, I had over 5,000 cards collected. Like, so, like, you know, and that's without spending one dime. I didn't spend one dime on that. So, so let me just show you. So let me just run through. So you name the team. So we'll start opening up packs. Like, I'll just open up the starter packs first. They have these cool like animations and stuff. So each pack opens up and it gives you the cards, tells you what their ratings are. You know, like I said, nothing.
You get a whole bunch of bums that you'll
Yeah.
never.
Well, that's how you always start off with any of those like EA Sports.
Yeah, but then I see these guys that all 1 week later I saw this guy who was loaded with 100, 100, 100,
Yeah.
100, 100.
Oh,
But you don't get the stale gum. That's a plus. Come on.
Oh, come on. The steel gum was the best.
Who doesn't want Pete Incaviglia from the Texas Rangers in 1989, right? All right, so we'll just do the next pack. Oh wait, select. We'll just do the. So let's see. So we have a gold pack, a gold card. So we get Mickey Vernon, 1946. So what is he? First baseman. So you get that. Then you got Ed Farmer. He's a 79. That's not terrible to start off with. Well, a lot of these other guys are just kind of. All right, we'll just go to the next one. So, all right, nobody really good here. Paul Russell. All right, we'll just keep going. Next starter pack. Nobody good here either. They're going to get a diamond in here, one of these. Oh, not here. Still a bunch of 40s and 50s. But you can see there's a lot of historical guys. They have zillions of guys, like just, I don't know how many thousands of cards they have.
So, I mean,
What's that?
Some of these guys I never heard of before.
Well, they have, actually, for the first time, I think I'm seeing 19th century players, which I've never seen before.
Yeah, that's new. That's new.
Yeah. So I've definitely never heard of any of those guys. So, all right, where's my diamond card? Come on, Fred Green, Turk Wendell. Oh, that was it. I guess I don't get a diamond card. Okay, I guess they're chinsing out on me this year. So I get one gold card. So anyway, so I get, because I have one gold pack, 3 diamond packs, and 1 historical. What was that? Historical. Oh, diamond pack. Wow. So I should get some good players here, but this is because I've played I've probably played every year they've had it. So I'll start with the gold pack. Let's open this one up. You get 1 gold card guaranteed. And I got this Jason Adam character. I don't really know a lot of the, to be honest with you, I don't know a lot of the current players, to be honest. I'm not really a big current baseball fan. This guy looks like, who's it, Doug Jones or one of those guys? Rod Beck. Was that Rod Beck clone?
No,
Andrew Chafin?
That's Andrew Chafin. But he looks like Rod Beck, doesn't he?
He does. Yeah. Let's see here. We got the diamond packs now. Here's the diamond card. Rod Scurry, 95. Can you believe that? 1984. I didn't know he was that good at any point. Pirates. There you go. There, Beatles. Rod Scurry. Okay. The reliever. Get this guy. Let's see. David Bednar, 93. So you can see their ratings. Their ratings are pretty good, right? 100 stuff, 88 movement.
I like how some of the cards look like different Topps cards from the past.
Yep.
Like one looked like one of them looked like it came from 1987 set. One looked like maybe from the 1977. I see how they do this sometimes.
Yep. Well, yeah, like this one here looks like an old Topps card. Last year they had the 1984 Topps one with they had the look of that, like where the team name was going down the side.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's the first year I actually started collecting cards with 84 Topps. So there we go. I got a Tommy Thomas here from, doesn't say what year it is. That's a legend though, 96. Okay, we got my last diamond pack. Oh, 2 diamonds and a gold. Wow. Chris Spire, Fritz Peterson, Juan Pierre. Wow. Okay.
Juan Pierre from the Marlins. And Fritz Peterson, Yankees. Okay.
119 control.
1969.
Yep. And we got my. Oh wait, is that it? Oh wait, I got my. Wait a second.
And you log in tomorrow, and you can open more packs, right? So I think it's fun.
Well, I can get I have 1,000 points, so I can get one. I can get a standard pack right now if I wanted to. But anyway, so I have all these extra cards now. Within the card, you have a card shop where you can search for players that are in the auction house. Like you can see what the sell orders are. Like you can see what people are buying these for already. You can search for certain prices, certain cards. They have missions. They don't have a whole lot of missions right now. The missions right now are more like just collecting the 2024 teams, and they have other ones here like I Am Your Father. Like it's probably like a father son. Like so, let's see, like Luke Jackson. Wait, oh, so
I just couldn't get into that. I thought it was cool at one point, but then I just couldn't win nothing, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
I understand you like to collect the cards. I get it, but you are trying to win in some cases, and yet when I go up a team has got nothing but Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig and Koufax and Seaver and that, I'm saying, come on, that's ridiculous.
No, I know. But just here's the team. So I got basically it just filled out my team, but obviously this is my reserve roster, and I have my active roster, the 26 players. Now I always just let the AI set it up first, and it puts all the good players up here. So builds out your pitching staff just like you would in the regular OTP game. You have set your rotation, all your bullpen, and then your lineups works exactly the same way as well. And then also it gives you everything you would have just in the regular team. So you build your team, you submit your team, and then what that does is upload your team to the server. So whenever it begins the sim, your team will be entered into the pool. So I think right at the beginning of the season, everybody starts off in this like beginner pool, and then however that goes for the first week, I think then you get put into your bronze division. It's like a what do they call it? Like the English Premier Football League. It's the promotion relegation system, right?
Right.
So top like 3 or 4 teams, and from each season move up to the next level. Bottom ones fall down to the lower level. So there's a few new features like this combinator card shop, which I don't even know what these new combinator cards are. Apparently, you can combine. If you get similar type cards, certain types of cards, you can combine them and make one more powerful card, something like that. So they have that. That's a new feature for this year, which I haven't even looked at yet. So apparently those are specific, a whole different type of card. They have a whole different watch list, whole different shop for it. But the point is, so what I want to get to, I mean, you can get into the whole card, like, auction housing. What I wanted to show was the collection missions, first of all. So these are the missions that they have right now. This tells you what your reward is if you complete the mission. So some of these missions you get like just one standard pack if you finish it, or 2 standard packs. Some of them have 3 standard packs, depending on how difficult the mission is to complete. These ones are just collecting the 2025 MLB cards, like which are the most common ones you can get. And this is just complete. If you click on it, it gives you all the cards, and it'll highlight. Well, I don't have any for this one, but one of these I might have. It will highlight the players that you have, right? So you can do. So this is what you need to get all these to complete this mission. It tells you what the reward is. You get this Bill Dineen card. It's not exactly a sexy card, and you get a pack with it too. So you can search all the card shop for these cards, and then you can buy them. Right? If I wanted to buy now, I could buy any of these cards that are under 1,000 if I wanted to buy now, or I could put an order in. I could put a new buy order. I could put a price that I want to buy, submit it, and then if somebody accepts that, then I'll get that card. It could be any time. It doesn't expire or anything. It just kind of goes. So that's that. But what I just wanted to show you really quick is just the different ways you can get points, right? So you can get points by selling your duplicate cards. I don't think I have any duplicate cards. I can check. Let me just check my card collection. Well, card collection is just more of a managed card. So managed cards. Let me just see if I have any duplicates. I do have a duplicate. So I have this Brett Sullivan guy. Now I don't think he's probably not worth much. He's a 52, but I can go to sell card. Now you can sell card for 5 perfect points. Usually I do that for the really bad cards. I just sell them for 5, quick sell. You could create the sell order. The average price it's sold is 54. So I mean, I could try to just put it in for like 50 and see if somebody buys it. You know what I mean? I'll try that anyway. So I'll just do 50 here and just click submits. And it tells you the order, it tells you detailed spreads and stuff like that of who buys them and what the top buy orders were. Actually, I'm just going to do 10 because I don't think it's going to sell. So I feel like another way people they get around this, I think you can have multiple accounts here. So I think I really think people have multiple accounts, RJL. And I think another way they get so good is they have multiple accounts and then they end up trading their better cards to one account. And they build up that, one account based off of their other multiple, you know what I mean? Because I noticed that some of these cards here have ridiculous sell that nobody would ever buy for, but I think it's probably people transferring their cards to or their perfect points to another account. That's what I think. So, but anyway, that's my conspiracy theory. So let me just go back real quick to the Perfect Team home screen. So I named my team. Now with the team, back to this whole thing. So the other thing is you can select the ballpark. Now at the beginning, you get one park, right? You have to select Heinsohn Park. It's fictional. But over time, as you play, I don't even know how you unlock more parks, but over time you unlock more and more parks. You actually get to unlock different like real parks. Like you could play in Forbes, you could play anywhere. I don't know. I forget the whole thing of how that works, but it kind of just comes into play based on, how your team's going to, obviously your home park is what the factors are, that kind of thing. So I'd select Heinsohn Park. I don't know if you can, you can't, it's really not much else other than that, just selecting the park, and then you can change it whenever you want. And then you can go to customize team, and then this is more like if you play the regular game, like, selecting your uniforms and your logos for your team. If you want to select anything, I just have to let it load this thing. Hold on one second. It's just loading the logos here. It just goes to 800 and then it should be done. So it's just more like you can do your advanced uniform setup for your own team if you want. You could import your own uniform, your text, if you wanted to watch, because you can watch your games out. You can still watch any of the games that get simmed. You can watch the replays of them. So you could do that. You could add your logo. You can add, so here we go. I just added this down. I'm in the entry pool for my team, so it should be. So see, next sim will be in 30 minutes. Oh, sorry, it's still downloading stuff. Sorry. So this is the entry pool standings. It hasn't started yet, but it's going to be starting in 39 minutes. Where was I going? I was going back to my customization. Sorry. I don't. Oh, okay. So they changed that screen already. Oh, customize team. Well, anyway, the team's set up. I don't even remember what happened. It just threw me out. Let me just look at the. I don't know. Oh, maybe it's under this.
While Mike's looking around, we'll let you know, guys, that I did clear off space and reinstalled Mike's ballparks, and they look gorgeous.
So you can select logos from any of the actual logos here, historical logos. They have some fictional logos here you can pick for your team if you want. You can search them. You can select your uniforms, or you can have imported uniforms. Any historical uniform from my set or whatever from the historical mods. You could use whatever uniform you want. Logo. Oh, I already picked this logo here for me, even because it had it in the. This is the one I have for my Field of Dreams logo. So the ballpark. Okay. So anyway, so you get your team going. There's you can basically customize everything just like you would on a normal OTP game. Universe. This hasn't been filled out. This is all the different league. You'll be able to click on any league in any of these levels. The universe gets filled out as more people join, and as the league starts. So obviously everybody starts off at rookie level. Then they just, as the seasons go by, it builds up and you get higher and higher for the winners. Team and play records, obviously, there's nothing there. Manager rankings, that's that you for your manager, everything. Perfect league is a whole other thing. So the other thing, what I want to get back to is, again, I want to talk about. I can go and get bogged down in details, but I want to talk about the different ways you can make points. So you can get points by selling cards, duplicates, completing missions. And they also have here's the PT Live thing I was telling you about. So here's all the cards you have on the left. This is what I was talking about, setting up the lineups for each day. So you have your MLB schedule, which isn't there yet. Nothing's here yet for this, but you can see every day when the regular season starts, you set up your lineup and it'll tell you what your points are, how many points you've earned each day. The only problem is you have to do it every day. It doesn't just keep that lineup continuously. You have to actually come in and reset. You have to set that lineup, set a new lineup every day, right? but it keeps leaderboards for this. You can set your roster, and then you're not going to earn a whole ton of points each day, but you do it every day, it'll add up, right? And so that's the other way you can do it. The other thing is, and I'm going to go back to the start screen, is tournaments. So tournaments are really cool because you can enter 3 tournaments at a time. So let me go back. So here's the show tournaments here, and what you do is there's a bronze tournament, for instance. So basically what a bronze tournament does is you can use any cards from bronze or lower, and they have iron tournaments, so you can use just iron cards. You can do silver tournaments, which is just silver or lower. So they have all these different, but they also have other tournaments where they have like caps. Like there's one with a cap of 1875 rating points. Like so, the total amount of ratings on that team can only add up to that much. So you have to build up a certain roster for it. You just can't put your whole 90 rated players in this tournament. You know what I mean? You have to actually figure out, well, I got to give here and take here. You know what I mean? So it's actually some strategy there. So let me I'll just show you real quick. There's not much to do. Like a silver tournament, like probably can't do anything. I'll do the bronze one. Hopefully I have enough players to do it. But so I enter the bronze tournament by clicking on it. Then you can set your roster. So basically you can take any of the cards you have in your collection that are bronze or lower, and you can just build out your roster that way before the tournament starts. So it's going to load up, and you're going to see your roster screen at some point. Where is it? Oh, okay. So roster management. Actions. What I do is I always just activate all eligible cards and then just have the AI just set it up. So here we go. So here's my roster with only bronze and lower players, right? And you can go to your lineups. You can mess around. So it's really cool. You get use out of a lot of your cards by doing these tournaments, and it's things you can have 3 of them going at any time. So anytime you log in your computer, you log into PT. You can just you just join some tournaments, and if you win those tournaments, you can get 1,000 perfect points. You can get some packs. I mean, or even if you come in second, third, fourth place, sometimes you can still get points off of that. So the point is, you can win something, right? You can increase the amount of perfect points you have without having to spend a dime, right? So basically, what happens is, I'll submit my team here, and I'll go back out to the start screen, and you'll see that I have on my start screen, I'll have 1 tournament listed. Here it is right here. I could do 2 more if I want. So that's the other thing. So you have 3 tournaments going, and that will update. So if you win something, it'll say, second place, first place, and then you can go in, and the perfect points get added to your account. So I already have 11 points because I sold. See, I have 1,011. So I must have sold that 1 card for 10 points or whatever, or 11 points. So that's kind of cool. So now the other thing is, this is another cool thing, is perfect draft. So a perfect draft, I'm just going to do this real quick. I'm going to enter one of these, and this is where you actually you draft a team. It doesn't have anything to do with your cards. This is just, they give you each round, they give you so many cards. You have to pick either 1 or 2 players, depending on what they tell you to pick. And you start off with, you pick 1 perfect card, then you pick a couple diamond cards, then you pick maybe 5 or 6 gold cards, and you just keep going down. So this tells you what you win, round descriptions. Oh no, here you go. Round 1, you pick 1 perfect card. Round 2, 1 diamond card, 1 of 6 diamond cards here. So you get 3 golds, 3 silvers, and then you get a whole bunch of irons and stuff. So what you do is start drafting, and here we go. So that right off the bat, they just give you 6 cards. You get 6 100 rated cards you get to pick for this draft. So, they got some really good plays here, obviously, right? So, I mean, Atlee Hammaker, okay, 100, okay. But you can look at the ratings here. If you hover over it, 75, 125 control. So I like to go with pitchers first. So I'm gonna go with what do you think, Rivera?
Yeah.
So pick Rivera. So now you got, so here on the left, you have your team. So you have a closer that's picked at the bottom left there. It tells you what your field positions are. Now the second round, just you can do this real quick, but I'll just go with Chick Stahl in center field. Third round, you can look at each one of these, and you have to do it in, like, I think your time, like, you have 5 minutes to do it, right? So, well, I don't know, that maybe it's just because of the league. I don't know. It seems kind of quick for me, but all right. Anyway, I'm going to keep going. Frank Viola, I'm going to take. I'll just go through just for the heck of it, and just to show you. Now this one you have to pick 2 cards, so you pick 2 out of these. Pick first baseman and
See, I think this would be fun for a lot of people that don't want to. Right. This would be more of a kind of a sandbox type thing, really. Because
right. This is something that everybody's on the same level playing field, right? I mean, everybody
Right.
picks the same type of cards, and so there's not like anybody's building up. It's like basically fair rules here. Red Shane Deans. There's 2 cards there. Let me just go through 2 more. Oh, I got first base, second base. I need a third baseman. Is there a third baseman in the house? Yes, there is. And a shortstop. Maybe not in that. Yeah, I'll wait till I get a better one. I'll take a left fielder. All right. So, and then we got any better shortstop here? Probably not. I should have took the other guy because now I'm back. Now I'm into silver ones, but I'll take him and I'll take another starter. I don't care. I'm just picking guys. I just want to make sure I fill out a team. Paul Mall, no, shortstop. I already took one. Let's see. First base, second base, third base, shortstop, catcher. Left field, center. I almost got everybody. Well, okay. So I just need some starters. I need some relievers. Take this guy, this guy. Now I'm down to round 9 out of 13. Jim Abbott, I always like that guy. And I'll take a backup shortstop. And let's see, what else do I need? Another reliever. And
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
I know you, but let me ask you a question. Have you, for on your ballparks and such, have you updated City Field yet? Because you got to change the front, the main scoreboard. If that's gone.
Yeah, but the City Field's all taken care of by OTP. They have the latest version, right?
No, no, they don't. I actually checked it. I loaded up City Field in an exhibition game to the Yankees and the Mets, and they still have the old scoreboard. That's gone.
Really?
You got
that's
something
I'll have to look into. But I mean, again,
you need to update City Field.
Yeah, I'm shying away from kind of updating the newer stadiums because I feel like the OTP is going to get a new version of theirs at some point, and then mine's just going to be.
They actually would have had somebody in the forums actually mention that too.
Oh,
somebody
really?
said, hey, they don't have that regular scoreboard in City Field anymore. It's now a very large video board. So
if we have time, I wanted to show Will Toole something then when you're done, just very quickly. Because he was talking about the paucity of camera views, and now that I've got everything working, I want to show him what he's getting here with your mod.
So here we go with 5. So the last round, you had 5 picks of like really shitty cards. So let's just, I'll pick the best of best out of the bunch here. So if you get anything in the 50s here, you're lucky. So, all right. So basically, you submit your picks, and then the draft is over, and then you basically just go to your manager roster, and then you can select, it should select the best roster automatically, but you can mess around. You can do whatever. Here's your starting line. This is just for a tournament. So what's going to do now is enters you into a tournament, and basically you can only have one of these at a time. I'll just submit, and then let me just go back to my start screen again, and you'll see it. Your perfect draft is what the status is. So so you can see this only 5 of 16 of teams have signed up at this point. And then, so you can mess around with your roster all the way up until it starts. As you can see, it's this the bronze tournament I joined is already running. So I'm already in there. You can go play now, and you can go in there and check the status. You can look at the stats. You can look at how the progress of the tournament's going. So I just want to say, so you have PT Live, you have tournaments, you have perfect drafts, you have the regular game, perfect team sim that happens, selling cards. And all those ways you can make perfect points without having to spend a dime. And that's what I do. And and like I said, for me, I collect cards. And like RJL definitely has a good point about the competition piece. If you really want to win stuff, you probably have to spend money. I mean, I'm not going to lie. That's just how it is. You're not going to compete. You might be able to win a few. You could. What happens is my teams always flounder in the bronze, silver leagues. I might end up winning a league one time, but I'm never going to win the higher league. I might win the bronze league a few times because every week, real time week is a season. So that you have like in 24, I think we're up to season 2052 or something like that. I think it's a year since last year, so 52 weeks, right? So there you go. You just add that to 23. and that's so it's 2070 something right now probably. So it just keeps going, and then also each version. So OTP 24 Perfect Team is going to be good, I think, until next year. I think it's 1 or 2 years after they keep the servers running, so you actually can use that, and you can use that and run tournaments and do all the stuff for multiple versions of a game of each game. So anyway, that's, I guess, Beatles. That's good. That's my little
Thank you, Mike.
kind of thing.
Thank you.
I'll let you talk about if unless you want me to show the camera angles thing or whatever. But if you
Oh,
want,
I was going to bring that up now just to show
go ahead.
Will this crazy
I'll
list
stop sharing.
and to give you some love because he deserves it. I mean, everybody calls him the architect, and for good reason. All right, so here's I just fired up 1971 really quickly. So Will was talking about in the game there's not a lot of camera angles, and he's right. And you can create your own camera angles, but Mike's already done the work for you. Look at this list. This is, I mean, it's insane. So we can go all over the place here from I mean, let's see, what are some of the things that Mike's done here? Like we have a action cam TV, so you can just
I didn't create those. Those are created by someone else. I just added them to my parks.
Added them in. So
there's a guy named Darksider or something. He's
that did all these.
Yeah, but
so then you've got
yeah.
Yep. So there you go. There's the center view, center field view. There's so many of these things, and of course, again, it's really, really simple to make your own if you want. And then you can even take the ones that are in here. And Mike, you did such a brilliant job here. And of course, Three River Stadium, we get rid of this in the mid 70s, and these would become like club boxes and stuff like that. But these were the nosebleed seats. These were nasty to see a game up here. Oh my God. They're like, so the angle was really, really steep. And there was actually, it's kind of hard to see from here, but you could actually see through here and out onto the Pittsburgh skyline. And if you had any vertigo, man, oh my God. Yeah. So these club boxes you see by the mid 70s, and by the time you get to the We Are Family Pirates, these club boxes go all the way around here. But Will, you get tons of them. And Buckshot, you asked what you do once this mod's installed. So what this did is it automatically just assigns the ballparks. That's one of the beautiful things that Mike has here.
Yeah.
That's really, really great.
And let me just say that every one of the parks I did, I went through this year, and I went and I assigned them all the same camera angles. So, and I cleaned up. There's a lot of duplicates. It was kind of a mess in some parks. So there's like more than 20, more than 30 of some of them. And so I cleaned up all the duplicates. I got rid of the ones that didn't look right. I tried to fix the ones that, sometimes the camera gets stuck behind like home plate stands or something at different parks at different dimensions, obviously. So I went and I tried to fix every single one. I went through every park, tried to fix all the camera angles. So they should all work pretty good. Even the ones that I have, even some of the modern ones that work with OTP, the ones that OTP come with, I've actually copied the parks to those as well. The ones that are, that's in my game. You won't see those because I don't include those in my mod. But
so this
some of the parks I did include this year, like for instance, the parks that they changed last year, I think there was not Skydome, Rogers Center, Comerica Park, and there's one more that made a change to their field. It escapes me right now. Anyway, so they actually updated their parks last year. Camden Yards, they made that change to left field. They updated their parks. So what I did was I saved their older versions that they had up before last year, and I included those in my park mod. So all the way up till 2022 season, you'll have those versions. Then when they changed it last year, starting in 2023, you'll have the new version, right? So,
and here's another thing too, Mike, if I might interrupt, that Mike's
okay.
already done the work for you. So when I mentioned earlier, and it's like wasn't realizing, when the park isn't working, but with Mike's it does. So if you ever are any old season and you see Citizens Bank Park, then the park factors aren't in there. So when you see, for this, when I see Shea Stadium, this isn't the 3D model, it's a picture of the 3D model, but this actually has Shea Stadium. The park factors are all ready to go, and then you just hit 3D model, and we'll see one of Robert's favorite parks, and one of the Beatles' favorite parks for that matter. So there it is, and all kinds of great angles you can look at. So there it is. There's Shea, and there's where the Beatles played at second base. So the other one that doesn't get a lot of talk that we'll have to show off another night because it is getting late everybody loves the ballparks mod. You got to the uniform mod, the
Yeah.
other great mod from Mike Silva that nobody talks about, but really deserves just as much love because that was a lot of work there too. Uniform mod. So go on. Don't be an idiot like me. Make sure you got some hard drive space. And yeah, I just moved Age of Wonders 4 to somewhere else. Get the ballpark mod, get the uniform mod, and you just have this
I've already
amazing
got
immersive experience.
Mike, is this link here, mediafire.com, on your inventory of 3D? Is that your newest ballpark set?
This is version 4, I think, or version, what is it? I just updated it today or yesterday. Let me see.
Oh, no. And I didn't mention the new skyboxes, did I?
Well, yeah, that's not
in the
from-
game.
Yeah, no, that's
Well, newer.
Yeah,
I guess,
I'm
like the
looking-
clouds and stuff.
Because I'm looking right at the, what do you call it? Right at the forum here with you.
Yeah, I'm
Inventory
in
of
there
3D
right now. Hold on a
ballparks
second.
by
I'll tell you
Silver.
right now. The first post, yeah, that should be the latest one. Yeah, the first
So
link.
that's what
on
I got. So I got to download the mod. Okay, that's it.
If you don't have Steam, do you not have Steam?
No, I don't. I don't get this on Steam. This is straight from what do you call it? Straight from this company.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
use Steam for this.
Yeah, so the link, if you go to download, it should say OTP25 ballpark. So
That's fine. Okay, that's what I'm downing. I'm downloading it now.
and it's I just want to let you know so anybody that downloads either on Steam or the other one, I think the file size is about 3.5 gigs for
Yes, it
parts.
is.
And
I got 2
the
terabytes.
size of-
I got 2 terabytes of space. I got
okay.
plenty of room
And
on
the
this.
uniform mod is about a gig and a half. So,
Yeah, I saw that. The one
And
thing I
great
do
stuff.
like, about it, it seems to be a little bit easier to set up uniforms for players and such.
Oh yeah.
But it still doesn't do it on its own. When you update, when you go to another year, it still doesn't do that.
What, for players you mean?
For the uniforms for uniforms.
No,
For
you
some
mean
reason, I can never get it to work.
well, it should work automatically with the
Because when I go to the
file.
database, because I know I got to fix I got to go to because I've got downloaded all the uniforms and everything. Then I got to go to the database. So hey, look, you got to go to the database to get this information. All right,
Yeah.
and then
No, I'll tell you. Like if you download my mod and you put there's a new thing called Colors XML. It's a colors folder, and I created XML files where it will automatically load every year you start. It will automatically load the appropriate hats, uniforms, alternate uniforms. So you should try that out because I'll tell you right now. I went through I started a game in every season, 1901 through 2023. And I created a new game. I have them all on my hard drive, 100 and something seasons. And every season I tested when I loaded up the season, the right uniforms were there. So I don't know what you're doing, but maybe you're not installing
I'm probably
it.
not doing it right. I'm probably not doing it right.
Yeah.
I can't.
Well, I mean, like my uniform mod has several folders. It has ball caps, jerseys, pants.
right. I already have.
There's a colors folder. You make sure you copy that over because that has the XML files, which the game looks for every season to look for what the uniform to use. You know.
So because right now I'm on game settings and I'm looking at the list and database, and I see I got my same game here set up, and I've already changed it to the new because I like face gen. I don't like the photos for this. I like photos. I like for action PC baseball. Face gen I like for this game.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
And I got the face gen, but I've got everything already set. This using the custom logo file for logos, ball caps, jerseys, pants, colors, great.
Oh.
But then isn't there?
That explains it. Then that explains it. My mod is made to work with you have to use the actual directories in the game, like the data, OTP25 data / logos data /
Well, that's where it's in. I can put it in the data folder.
No, but you
It's
said
all
you
the
changed.
data.
You have a custom path, right? You said you have a custom.
Well, no, it's not a custom path. I've got program files out of the park developments,
Oh,
out of the
okay.
park baseball 25 data, and all of that. And I'm
Okay.
downloading your ballparks now, but
Yeah. All right, then it should work then.
I have, but I have, yeah, it seems to, but maybe I don't know. I'll have to try. I want to see what happens when I go to 1963.
Well, yeah, I mean, it should definitely work. I mean, I like I said, I tested all of them. I meticulously went through each team, home and away, alternates. I made sure the helmets colors matched the freaking cap colors. I did whatever meticulously like the last 3 weeks or so. So if you have any problems, let me know. I mean, I can always set up a session to share a screen or whatever.
Guys,
Yeah.
I want to thank Mike. I want to thank Robert. Again, yeah. I don't know if you work tomorrow, Robert. I do. Yeah, I got 6.5 hours, so I got to be up. But I'm done at 4:30. Yeah, baby. Again, what can I say? I'm not chasing everybody off just yet, but I hope that you'll consider this. You know, I've said many times in the channel, and I'd like to get a little roundtable thing going. I don't know if it would be on with the Diamonds and Dice podcast or something to be like our old baseball chin wags. I'd like to get a little roundtable going because I think this. I still hold that as far as digital games go, this more than any other is one of the most polarizing games there is. People either love this game or hate it, and I'd like to just kind of talk about why. And everything is free game. I mean, it's everything is fad dinkum, as our Aussie friends would say. And it would be fun to just get. I'd like to get a few people on here that don't like out of the park baseball to talk about it, and just because I've never found somebody that says, yeah, I like it. I love out of the park or I hate out of the park. Ron Juckett's opinion, at least in the past, this game is it's only good for fictional players. So he's not a big fan. He's a huge action PC fan. But I know people that like action PC baseball or they like digital diamond baseball. When it comes to this one, though, it's pretty crazy. And I'd really like to have a nice, not that we'll solve anything, but it'd be fun to have a discussion about this. But again, my final take on this is this is truly, and again, as Mike says, of course, it's not going to get worse. There were a couple versions of this I wasn't quite as enamored of. I think this one's fantastic, and I think it's a must buy, and I think you should snag it 30% off right now for everything.
Yeah, I mean the money you can't even. It's a no brainer. You can't even begin to argue about the money. I mean,
right.
I mean, I'll just tell you, I paid yesterday or 2 days. Was it yesterday or Thursday? I paid $54 for a PC replay, and that came up. Then that just comes with one season, right?
Right.
So, I like it so far. But I mean, when you think about the value you're getting with OOTP, all the different modes I just mentioned with Perfect Team alone is a separate whole game, and then you have at least 3 times as many modes like on the rest of the core game. You know what I mean? So,
and also remember, guys, you can change the name of the Cleveland Guardians and have an actual logo. The only one you cannot do this in, but there's a workaround, is if you're doing tournaments or World Series. That's like a different coding in the game. But if you're playing a regular season or you're bringing in teams from different eras and stuff for a league, easy to change. You just can't do it in the World Series thing for some weird reason.
In fact, what season is that? That's 71.
This is 1971.
Real quick, just go to Cleveland on your team menu, right? Go to team settings on the Cleveland. If you go to where your Pirates drop down is.
Yeah, there it is.
No, okay.
Oh no.
Just type in Indians.
Right, just type in Indians and make sure to hit enter. If you don't hit enter, it won't take, guys.
Hit enter. And then go to modify team colors, logos, and textures.
Bam.
It is easier.
And now click on auto load for the logo.
And
did you not
well, that's because I didn't install that next mod yet. So if you didn't, you just go to select and then you do that. What didn't you install? I didn't install the uniform mod yet.
Okay.
Yeah, just because we were talking here, and I just wanted to. Right. So, what I'm finding is I'm having it just point to the out of the park.
I'm loving the uniform mod. It looks really, really good. Right. I kind of already installed a 1962 season, and just looking at the old type uniforms, that you did, Mike, is just beautiful.
Yep. So,
and of course, we all love high socks.
Real quick, so there's one more step: the import colors XML file there at the bottom. Click that. Now you have to go to the colors directory, which I was talking about, but I don't think there's any XML files if you didn't install them.
I'd have to go up to out of the park 24.
You'd open up the colors, so you'd open up the colors folder.
Well, let's do that.
Then it goes by team name, every franchise name. So you just go to Cleveland Indians. Do you have that open already?
I'm going to go to out of park 24 and do it.
Okay.
Where the hell is it?
Top.
Yep, there we are.
And then colors. Then go to
Cleveland Indians. Yeah. Cleveland Indians.
Yep, and
XML import.
Oh, it didn't work. I don't know why. Well, you know why? It doesn't work because it's looking from the OTP 24 directory, and the XML file has to be in the 25 directory. So
So So I just didn't install that. But that's how easy it is. But again, people were saying, "Oh, geez, I don't want it to be the Cleveland Guardians in 1948." Well, you don't have to. Just make those changes, and you're done. It's just you can't do it in a World Series, World Series thing. But there's a workaround for it. It's real simple.
I suggested to OTP that they should have a screen like this before, when you start up any game, whether you're in a season or a tournament or exhibition. They should have a uniform selection screen, like something like this. It doesn't have to be exactly like this, but it could be something smaller, more streamlined. Like every other video game has for like MLB The Show. Before you play any game, you have options to pick the uniforms and all that stuff. They should do the same thing in this, I think.
They should, yeah. Well, like MLB The Show. I love that because I've seen, Legends will pick. Oh, I want this uniform for this team, and hopefully they'll do it. They'll do it. So guys, that's it. It's Out of the Park 25. Hopefully, no matter if I'm on here, and I'm broadcasting an Action PC baseball game or Baseball for Windows or whatever the other baseball games I do, talk about a comment on it. I really want to get your thoughts. If you would, in the next few weeks, next few months, whatever, the entire baseball season, how you're getting along with it. What are you doing with Out of the Park baseball? I'd love to know. And share with the community. Yeah. Thank you, Mike and Robert. Yep. I'll be around tomorrow night, and I guess do some Fields of Dreams.
Good night,
baseball.
Robert.
Good night, guys. We'll see you soon.
All right.
Bye-bye, guys.
All right. Thanks, guys. And I'll say my thank you. Iridescence 93. Thank you. A lot of chat from you tonight. Thank you very much. Sports Time Machine, guys. He's doing a kind of great teams league using Stratomatic. So do check it out. Legend Sports Universe, who's probably gone off to sleep a long time ago because we were being really loud. So we'll try to quiet down here a little bit. So he has begun Season 3 of the Franchise Stars Baseball League in MLB The Show 22. Again, making that game do what it wasn't designed to do. The work is amazing. And even though I'm not a football fan, I also want to mention his Franchise Stars Football League, which I believe is in week 2. So you definitely want to check that out. That's done in Madden. And again, the work he did in that was absolutely insane. D. Scott Howard, of course, such a great friend of the entire community. Thank you. Dwayne Martz, check out his excellent work. This guy is the guru of Digital Diamond Baseball. You have questions about Digital Diamond, Dwayne Martz is the man to go to, and his amazing project that he's doing in that. Doing a 1978 season replay using the master version of Apple Cards and Dice, and you can see him roll the dice right on the camera, and using Digital Diamond as a companion. Also, he's doing a great every World Series ever played using Out of the Park Baseball, and hopefully that'll be an Out of the Park Baseball 25. Hint, 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 hint. There, Dwayne Martz, my friend. John DFW, thank you for coming in. John, feeling this is the best version of Out of the Park. He's been playing since version 6.5. Random Human, thank you for coming in. Jeff Hunter, great to see you as always. It's been a while. Bernie Strom, great channel. Bernie's doing a 1914 Red Sox replay in Out of the Park Baseball. Also one of our broadcasters in the Fields of Dreams League, as is Mike Silva. Bam, lots of people here tonight, and I really appreciate it. Will Toole, thank you very much. Will Toole's got a kick-ass team going on with his Hadley Lake team right now in Fields of Dreams. So good stuff. Aaron Reed, good channel there with Baseball for Windows. Buckshot, BBN Sports Replay. Please subscribe to that channel. Excellent broadcaster. Simtistics with Steve Tate. The man is a wizard. He's a madman. Want him to do some stuff along with Legend Sports Universe someday. God knows they'll probably create something sentient. RGO Network, we've already had on here. Light Years from Home, my dear friend. Great channel to subscribe to. It is not a baseball channel, but you will experience some of the most beautiful things you'll ever see on YouTube. What can I say? And he was the first in the ballpark. Guys, I really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much for coming in. Look for lots of baseball all over YouTube from everybody. All the content I've creators I've named and more. You know, Dave Gardner, Dave Juckett, Al Red Sox fan. ID Jester's even back to doing baseball, and glad to see that. Check out everybody, and let's keep this community rocking the way it is. You're all amazing people. Till the next time, see you around the batting cage. Good night.